Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. If I press this, that'll help, of course. Welcome to BSTV. This is the TCR Challenge Cup Season 15. We are in week 2, and this is the Motegi Resort. Mobility Resort. Motegi used to be called Twin Ring when I was a lad. I'm Pete Bingham, and I'm joined in the booth tonight by Sir Alan Toon, as always. Good evening, Sir Alan.
Can you hear me, Pete?
I can.
Well, yeah, I'm on phone power at the moment, matey.
Oh, dear.
So things are a bit tricky at the moment.
Yes, we are fairly convinced that we've got Discord connectivity issues this evening. So we're hoping that Sir Alan can join us, but he may be somewhat delayed by about 3 seconds between the stream going out and YouTube, so please bear with us. We are looking to resolve whatever we can resolve as soon as we can. Although I do believe it's beyond our ability to influence, but we will see. As you can see on the screen there, we have a 28-degree track temperature. In fact, YouTube's a little bit fuzzy, but there you go. Actually, no, it's not. It's cleaned up for me now, so I think it's just a bit of network issues, Alan. I don't know. What, are you still struggling?
No, YouTube. YouTube was working fine, Pete.
Excellent.
I can see on YouTube what's happening. Bit delayed, but I just can't get into Discord at all. It's not having it.
Okay. Well, hopefully that'll resolve itself over the course of the evening. So, for those of you new to watching, or even new to everything that's going on here. This is 2 races tonight, the first of which is a 20-minute race. We have a short intermission, and then we have a 40-minute race. Races are limited to 35% fuel of their 100-litre tank, which means that in the first of tonight's races there will not be a requirement for a pit stop. However, in the second there will be. Please feel free to join us on the chat and do all those funky things. Before we go too much further, I'm going to select Mr. Where is he? Tell me he's on the track. Yes, he is on the track. Right, okay. So I'm going to select Mr. Roger Morton, switch to that, and just do this. We're in practice at the moment for another 13 minutes or so. 10 minutes or so. But we're looking at Roger Morton, Sir Alan, because Craig Jones was admitted to hospital last week. He is one of the racing community. He doesn't race with us. He does race with the Result Clothing stable. But have you got an update for us on Craig? Because we had.
Oh yes, indeed, I have.
Yeah, Pete, go for it. Go for it.
Yes,
go for it.
And so we've had very good news from Craig this week. He woke up, and he is. We've got him all back. There was a lot of fear in the team after this induced coma. Would Craig be able to pull back from that? Would he recover? Would he be okay? But he recovered consciousness. The coma was reduced. He came back, and he's still in hospital, and he's still having tests. But he's well on the way to making a full recovery. It's really couldn't be better news, Pete, honestly.
That's excellent. That really is great news. What am I typing here now? I've no idea.
I've got to say, he's seen the film that was made last week of us, all the cars. He's found it was very moving. The whole sim racing community really opened their arms and their heart to the man and his family. It was very sincere gestures from a lot of people, and I know that Craig was deeply moved by that.
Good. I mean, good that he's aware that the community's pulling for him, and that display was astonishing from last week, where everybody gathered at the end of the second race, and there was a lights flashing, and as Roger is displaying on his car, if I can get a better shot than I've got now, hang on a minute, bear with me, I'm very, very bad at this, there we go. It says keep fighting Craig on the front of Roger's car and on all the result cars that are in the race. So fantastic support for Craig there, and we wish him continued success in his ongoing recovery. And hopefully that's going to be a great news story, Alan, for the end of the exercise. He doesn't race with us, but it does show how strong this community is, and the racing community at large.
Yeah, well, it's one of the original team members of Result when they first started getting going all that long time ago, and he's been deeply involved with the community for years. He races MX5s with us, and of course he was very involved in the incredible charity that's been going off, the Big Dreams Little Voices charity. Craig is one of the originators of that, and over the last couple of years raised quite a lot of money for this great children's charity. So, he's been an important man in the community, and he's meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's never nice when things like that happen to anybody. So, hopefully he can, from his bedside at the minute, watch tonight's race. And maybe when he's recovered,
he will be.
Yeah, that'd be great if he does. And I'm hopeful that once he's fully recovered, maybe he can join the league. We might even give him a free season, Alan. What do you say about that? These things come in fits and starts. So, right, let's talk about this league for a bit. It seems rude not to.
Yes, well, there's Roger, and he's doing very well in this league.
He's doing very well, yeah. So we'll go through it in some sort of order, shall we? So let's have a look at the pro standings. So we have divided this league into pro and am because of the extensive sign-ups that we've got. I mean, tonight, for instance, we have 31 cars on track, Alan, which is sensational.
Fantastic feat. It's really fantastic, isn't it?
It is. It's very reassuring. I know people were concerned that the league had gone into beleaguering numbers, but it's a symptom of being running a league. In the summer months when people go off to sunny climates and they're not in their rigs and things like that. Maybe they've got a bit sick of 3/4 of the year racing and they need a quarter of the year off for a rest. And it's true of every league we've ever run, to be honest. But we kept our faith, didn't we, Alan? And we have seen the back of that. So it's showing great numbers right now.
Yeah, well, it deserves it, to be honest. It's a fantastic league. You won't see better TCR racing or any other fairer, more competitive racing than we have here in this fantastic league. And it's great to see the numbers up. It's great for the drivers. They have a very full track. We've got this great new amateur and pro idea going. I think it's brilliant. I think it's going to work out really well. And we're looking forward to a great season.
Yeah, it should be a stonking season. And at the minute, Sam Blease is your championship leader and your pro TCR standing leader on 152 points. In the pro series that is on your screen right now, Stephen Walker is not that far behind, really. He's within reaching distance, and he's shown that he is very, very, very fast here. So let's see what happens tonight. David Johansson in third there, with great points as well, only 3 short of Stephen. Spencer, who I thought wasn't here, but has just logged into the session. I thought he was out with his real friends drinking, but there you go. Wobbly is not here. He has real world stuff. It is the week before Christmas, folks, so expect people not to be here. Flashy Elmore is in 5th. I'm trying to see if he's here. He is, and he's fast. He's in 4th provisionally at the minute. And then Neil Ferrier is definitely here on 80 points. So the top 8 will go to at the minute. Jamie Jeffrey there holding that 8th place, who was very, very fast last season. It's going to be a competitive pro series, that's a certainty. In terms of the AM league, we have JB Dejoux, who did that. He stayed out last time on a massive fuel save and got himself a bag full of points in that second race last week. Alan, it was a great performance by him.
Yes, indeed, and we've got so many great drivers coming into the league. Some of our old hands who are just doing a great job and filling their boots in the league and stating setting down markers for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And you've got Tom Woodcock there in second, new to our league last week, but only 3 points behind JB. Tony Walker, who's been rapid for a couple of seasons now, is in third there on 61. And then we've got Roger Morton, Ike Leku, Owen Patterson, Jesus Amandaray, Matt Flannery, Jason Haddington, and rounding out the top 10, Michael Poole. A few new names in that list, Alan, which is very, very reassuring for the league. It means that we've got some really good competition that's included this season.
Yes, well, so many new names, and these are the new drivers that are coming in here. They don't know what they're facing. Then these are new drivers. We don't know what we're getting, and it's an exciting time because we know how good the drivers in the league are, and these new drivers are going to get a great surprise and find themselves in the midst of some really great racing, and they'll realise eventually that they really looked out.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Let's move on to overall standings, which is a combination of both of those two, Pro and Am, so you can see how everyone fits in. Where is JB? JB must be just outside that list. Oh no, he's there, number 7. I can't see him. Why am I not looking? So there he is. That's the top Am driver in 7th. So you can see the order is as per. And then team standings. We've got a load of teams this season. Absolutely loads of them. And Hydro Race Geodesic, who won last season, are at the top of the pile this season as well. Spectre 6 in second for the 51 points behind. That's not a massive gap at all in a team standing situation. Sim Racing Grid in third, which is 3 with David Johansson there. And then BSTV Pink and Ignium Motorsport showing very well in their return actually to this league. Driver of the meeting, there's only been one round of votes, and JB and Sam Blees got their votes from myself and Alan last time. In the Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award, Ike Leku is starting the charge. He is the safest driver we have turning laps at the moment. This will not update fully until drivers have done 9 rounds, so we won't talk about that one too much. We will return to live footage and we will have a look at what the provisional timings are with just a few seconds to go before the end of the session. It will dump everybody at the end of it. Why is David Ayres on the chat and not in the race? That's new. He's going to have to explain that, but he says good evening, hope everyone's fitting well. Hope you are too, and explain why you're not racing. That'd be great. So Stephen Walker is your provisional poleman. He's in the pits along with Sam Blees, who is provisionally in second with David Johansson in third. It looks a lot like the a lot like the standings, really, doesn't it? Matt Elmore in fourth. Hopefully someone's disabled the flashy light button to his car. Then Neil Ferrier, who did very well in the first of last week's races, but he suffered with some crashes in the second of those races. Miguel Freitas rejoins us, Alan, for this race.
Oh, great. Well, we like to see Miguel. He's he's a fantastic racer. And, he puts spice into any race. And there's a challenge for anybody. And it's always great to see him on the track.
It is. Right. I am going to... why is it not showing me my grid? Come on.
We can expect a lot from these cars this year, can't we? The import cars.
We can. Oh, hang on. Have we just gone into quali? Sorry, we've just gone into quali. It's me being silly. I'm a quarter of an hour behind. Sorry, ahead of myself. Had no practice. Had to be in bed early due to getting up at 4 a.m. this morning. That's a pretty good excuse. Thanks, Tyler, for correcting me. That was practice. I was seeing the 15. It was an hour and 15. So, yeah, good excuse from David Ayres. He's knackered. And that's fair enough, in my opinion. Right, so into quali we go. We've got 15 minutes of this. And that will decide the starting grid for race 1 of tonight. 20-minute race. No pit stop required unless you're forced into it by crashing. Or getting crashed into. PVG, Pete Van Gool. I've corrected my issue from last time. So he's in his proper paint, Alan.
Yes, well... love that paint. Doesn't that look great?
It's beautiful, isn't it? I love that. Very nice.
It looks fantastic.
What a gorgeous shade of red that is.
Yes, I kind of, you don't see that show very often, but
No.
you know, Pete, I'm looking forward to Pete finding his way with his car. He's a fantastic driver, and I don't think he's ever actually managed to find his feet with the car. And I just hope this going to click this season, and because there's a lot to race for out there now, and I think he's starting to show a bit of his true form. I don't think he's ever really shown his true form in his car, and I
No.
do actually starting to do that a little bit now. I've had a different feeling last week. He
Right.
looked like he was more comfortable, and he was driving strongly in a very busy field.
Oh yeah, I mean 31 cars on the grid is a busy field either way, but that is a gorgeous paint scheme, and I'm thankful I can now demonstrate it to the nation, or multiple nations actually, in true and glorious Technicolor. So, who else have we got that's new this week? Let me make my way down the list, because there are some other names that we need to talk about. Where's he gone? I've just seen him. Oh, there he is. Sam Boozen has joined us. He signed up for this season. I think he's a bit ropey because he's been very unwell. But he's going to stick it out as long as he can do in that Veloster. He's new to the car, he's new to the series. So he's going to do what he can while he can. If he does disappear, he said, don't be surprised. He's just feeling so rough that he is going to struggle to keep it together.
Great to see Sam out there, though, isn't it? You know, he's a member of the family, absolutely. You know, and I love to see Sam on the track because he made me so very welcome the first time I sat in this seat.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, isn't he? So let's have a look and see if we can get some statistics on the board. Why is that button not working? No idea. Overall standings should be on the screen right now. Odd. Let me see if I can do something else. If I do this, does it do anything? No, it doesn't. Do that one instead. Let's see if that does anything. No. Right, let's hope we can get some sort of tower up in a minute. I'll keep clicking stuff until it happens. Right, so, where are we? Andrew McGinley. I think
Jamie?
Yeah, that's Jamie Jeffrey. He did very well again, showing his class last time out. Big Mig on track. There he is, previous champion of the season before last. In that Honda, he is mega rapid. If you're going to go at the bookies, I would certainly have a flutter on him. He's proven many times before that he's super fast. Although this season he's going to have quite a lot of competition, I think.
He is, but not only is he quick, he's a very savvy racer, isn't he?
Yep. Very savvy. Oh, here we go. Times are coming through now as people start crossing the line. It's a long lap here, 2 minutes 3. And Sam Blees getting himself to the top of the pile very early on. I think the way that we've split the AM and the Pro has been pretty accurate, Alan. As we were saying in the first of last week's races, it does show the division there. So let me talk through that for everybody. For Sam Blees, you will see he has a windscreen banner which is blue with yellow behind the blue writing. That denotes that he is a previous champion, the yellow, and the blue bit denotes that he is in the Pro category. Let's move on to somebody else. Tony Walker here has the orange banner and the white background. That suggests that he is not a previous champion, but is in the AM category. Same for the number boards on the side of the car. Let me see if I can get another camera angle on him. Not that one. We'll try this one as he goes around this right-hand turn here. That was a bit of a distance, but you can see it was orange. And then if we look at someone like Russell Cowell, and if I go to this camera here, you'll see that he has a blue background on his windscreen banner and a white background behind the blue writing, which suggests he is not a previous champion, but is in the Pro category. It even tells you it's Pro on the right-hand side there. So that's how we've distinguished between the different classes.
You did a heck of a job with the split, you know.
Yeah. I think it's very, very accurate. Last time's, I mean, the second of the races, it can be a bit of a brawl because we reverse the top 15 positions from the first of the races each week into the second, so it can be a bit of a muddle. Oh, good evening to Shane Newport on the chart. He's the one-man army for Jamie Jeffrey. I'm sure Jamie Jeffrey's got more than a one-man army, but Shane is the one that comes on the chat each week and shows his support for Jamie as everybody goes across the line for a second time. If I yeah, let me see if I do that. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay. So just making sure that everybody's fully populated on the track there. If we go on to where Mr. Blees is right now, he's quite early on the lap. We'll go round a lap with him because we've got 7 minutes of this qualifying session still to run. You can see how all the times are forming up in the timing tower on the left there. No surprises for me so far, other than Miguel Freitas is not in the top 10 yet.
I'm sure you'll find his feet. This is a very different track from what we had last week, of course.
Yes. This one relies on a lot of top speed. Going to get some good drafting here as well on a number of different straights. Yeah, some heavy braking zones here from time to time on the lap. Sam's heading to one now. We are going to jump on board with him eventually once he's got round the lap and is starting a running lap. And then this is not the start-finish straight. This is the old start-finish straight. Let me go and find the right camera. Where is the right camera? Where's Gyro? There it is. So this is on board with Mr. Blees, our current reigning champion, holder of the #1 number. So we go through this chicane here towards the end of the lap. We're just entering it now. Lots and lots of curb on the left and right, and then onto the start-finish straight. This is the start-finish straight that we're using. Power across the line here, full beans, slightly uphill. You should get a bit of a draft going up here, and then this is a reasonably quick right-hander. You do come down a couple of gears into second, take the double apex, swing it out to the right, but you, eventually, because the next turn at the end of this reasonably long straight is a left. It's a left that carries on for a while. You'll see a lot of people in the kitty list are on the right there because that's just what happens at Motegi. Round here was the scene of a murder one year that took out half the field, but we skipped well across that. I was a victim of that. This is a right-hander which goes under the bridge in a second. It's faster than you think, that turn, and you can get a good overtaking opportunity into it. Around this sweeping right-hander, very quick, and then stay to the right because the next S section is open and is sweeping. There's no overtaking opportunity here normally. Stay to your racing line, stay to the apexes, get to the right-hand side of the track for the next left-hander, which is very sharp, heavy on the brakes, down to possibly first gear, yes, and then lots and lots of gas for this very slow and almost hairpin-like right-hander. You may even see him go down to first again. He has done. This is the old start-finish straight. We don't use this for pit stops. Up and over the brow of this hill and then downhill into a very challenging braking zone. Quite a long lap this. Great overtaking opportunity here. Probably the principal one on the lap. Into this right-hander, 90-degree right-hander, downhill, off camber, nightmare corner, expect crashes there. Through this little kink here where people will be fighting for position and they'll go door to door through here, and then into the chicane at the end of the lap like you saw the last time. Hopefully that was a good synopsis of a lap, Alan.
That was fantastic, Pete. You were, mind you, it was a very nicely driven lap, but it just shows you the challenge of this course. It's an awful long straight, followed by a very short bend, followed by an awful long straight, followed by a short bend.
Yes.
And, there's plenty of braking zones for people to chance their arm, and there's a bit of width for the circuit. It couldn't be more different from last week. No,
absolutely right. So that was Stephen Walker's fastest lap. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Sam Blees we were on with. So he did a 2:02.53. Stephen Walker has since bested it with a 2:02.35. Miguel Freitas has floated into the top 5 now. In terms of AM class, they are mixed in, so wherever they grid, they grid. Tom Woodcock is your highest standing AM driver at the minute, AM driver. He's done a 2:03.14. His last lap was the fastest that he's done. And then Tony Walker is second at the moment, with Chris Needham in third place in AM class. Roger Morton in fourth, and Pete Van Gool, Alan, floating to the surface in fifth at the moment for AM class.
Yeah, good to see. Pete knows his circuit. Expect him to be comfortable. And if there's any, he knows how to get around the corner. So I'm expecting him to be consistent, and let's hope he has a great performance tonight.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thanks to the wonders of Jamie Wilson, I have the ability to split them up into their Pro and Am class, so you can see for a few seconds where everybody sits respective to their classes, as Stephen Walker goes faster yet again and takes 300ths off his time. A very nice, very controlled lap. Nobody's got an answer for Stephen Walker just yet. Spencer McCarthy rockets up the standings into 6th as I was talking. Not a surprise really though, is it, Alan? He is in the super fast.
Yes, and we're not supposed to see Spencer up there at all.
No.
Carl is just hanging on to a top 10 place. I think that's quite good in this group. But here we have Andrew McKinley as well. Another new driver, a young man, and a talent for the future, I think.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Andrew McKinley proved he was very fast last week out. Joined us in the chat at the end. So long may that continue. At the moment, it looks like he's chasing Mr. Where's he at? Where is he? I know he's on track because I can see him on track. No, I've lost him. Has he reset all of a sudden? Maybe. Anyway, so Tom Woodcock, the fastest AM driver around here so far. And we are in the dying minutes of this qualifying session. Dying minute now. 1 minute to go. It will, as I said before when I thought I was in qualifying and I wasn't, it will chin them out of the session at exactly 15 minutes. If you're not on a lap already, then there's no point in being on a lap if it's not a good one. And you'll see a lot of people quitting out and flashing lights. Tom Woodcock, what's that about?
How about fastest AM?
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he knew I was talking about him. So fair enough. We'll let it go in the qualifying session, but your car will spontaneously combust if you do that in the race.
I was looking at a top 10 position in this field as the leading AM. I think I'd be pretty excited about that.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, there's an argument there to say he's been incorrectly classified as Russell Cowell moves up into the top 10.
Are we racing?
I'll tell you in a second. Just a minute. I'm terrible at this, you know. Oh, I am utterly terrible.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
There we go. It takes me ages to get to it. Oh, right, we're going. Right, let's show the grid. I'm going to have to do this quickly. In fact, I'm going to embarrass myself here. I'm going to show you things you shouldn't see. There we go. Right. You never saw that, folks. The instruction on the thing doesn't work. Oh, I think... yeah, that's right. Okay, so Stephen Walker is going to be your pole man for this evening for Spectre 6. Sam Blees will go off second for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Matt Elmore will go off third. Flashy himself. That is a great qualifying time, Alan, from Matt Elmore for Spectre 6 behind his teammate. Jamie Jeffrey for Coupes and Convertibles Racing will go off fourth. Fifth will be David Johansson for Sim Racing Grid. Off sixth will be Spencer McCarthy for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Seventh will be Miguel Freitas for Impulse Racing on his return to this league. Neil Ferrier will go off eighth for Ignium Motorsport. That's very good qualifying as well. Carl Hardy off ninth for Safeguard by Result Clothing. Russell Cowell off 10th. We're racing for Spectre Solo, driving with all his mates there, you can see. Tom Woodcock will go off 11th, the first of the IM class drivers for Sim Racing Grid. David Corpus will go off 12th for Lurchas Academy. 13th will be Tony Walker for Spectre 6. 14th will be Kevin Daniels for Sim Racing Grid. Andrew McKinley will go off 15th. Chris Needham will go off 16th. 17th will be Roger Morton. 18th will be Pete Van Gool. 19th will be Ika Leku. Owen Patterson will go off 20th. 21st will be Matt Flannery. 22nd will be JB Dejoux. Jamie Wilson will go off 23rd. 24th will be Jesus Amandare. 25th will be Marcel Frick. 26th will be Jason Haddington. Sam Boozin will go off 27th. Jay McCauley 28th. 29th will be Arnaud Chanonier. 30th will be Andrew Littler. And Alejandro Silva will go off 31st. Right, so let's have a look at where we can see the grid best. Let's choose someone further forward. We are waiting for Sam Blease, as we often do. He likes to keep us waiting. I didn't get through all the teams. Let me choose the other side of the grid here. Oh, he's on the track now, so everybody's formed up. The lights are coming on. 3, 4, 5 lights, and held for just a touch, and we're away. And that looks like a pretty good and even start right the way down the field. I didn't see anybody choke. Looks like a good start, Alan.
Yeah, that was as clean as can be, Pete. That was a beautiful lift by everybody.
Yeah.
That was almost like it was synchronised swimming there.
Yeah, 3 wide into turn 1. It could be 10 wide, who knows? Look at that.
What a sight that is. Goodness me.
That's
That's
epic.
got to make any sim racer's heart joy.
Yeah, 3 wide still with these 3. It's the same 3 cars from just a minute ago. Oh. Who's that that's been ejected out? I think it's Andrew McKinley, it is.
Andrew's seen purple.
Yeah, he's been turned out of that particular little foray. Let me find a camera that's further away. Seen everybody's nostril hairs with that one. It was a very close one. As we have got a challenge already here for 3rd place. This is Jamie Jeffrey on Matt Elmore.
Fantastic qualification by Jamie.
It is.
He did very well, and Matt as well. Both fantastic qualifiers. Right up the top of the grid, and fantastic to see them up there in this. I mean, because that is very competitive.
Yeah, I have yet to see why and how Stephen Walker is so far down, given that he was the pole man. So there's obviously something happened off camera that we need to go and review. And he's gone again. Well, I'm saying again, he's gone. It may well be again. So that one was 2 into 1 doesn't go, I think. Matt Elmore as well. Is he also suffering? Not a great night for Spectre 6. So far. Yeah.
And, very, very unusual to see that.
Yes.
Error from these guys, honestly. They're superb car handlers. So, make sure that does.
Yeah, Miguel. I don't know whether there was a netcode touch there with Jamie Jeffrey. It certainly looked like a twitch. And who is that? That's Neil Ferrier giving Miguel some serious attention. Miguel's offline and defensive, and we very rarely see that behaviour from that driver. Purely on the fact that he's so fast, he's usually on the offensive, isn't he?
I thought he got to slow down there for a second, the way he pulled off the line. But clearly not, because he's holding his pace.
Yep, Neil Ferrier using all of the tow in order to get an advantage. He's going to cut back here, and this is going to be a really nice move. Neil Ferrier on Miguel Freitas. Miguel wide, but using...
Fantastic racing.
Yeah.
It's, cold tyres. It's a bit on the edge at the moment, this kind of thing.
It is. Still side by side all the way through this whole section. Very clean, giving each other room. Very nice. Neil Ferrier gets out ahead of Miguel Freitas and Carl Hardy and a whole bunch of cars ready to mop up behind.
Very determined driving by Neil.
Right back in the field is Sam Blease on a mega recovery drive now. Once this all calms down, we're going to go back and have a look at what was going on. Tom Woodcock with Owen Patterson. A bit offline, Owen, just there. Where has he gone? Was that Owen? No, he's in front of him, of course. I've picked the wrong car there. I think it's Ika Leku, it is, yeah, for Lurchas Academy little offline. Oh, bit of a netcode touch there with Pete Van Gool. Oh, bit of door banging. Keep it calm, guys. Keep it calm. Rubbin's racing, but then there's something just a bit beyond rubbing, which might cause an issue. Miguel Freitas has just got back past Neil, or has he? Neil's gone sideways into the corner and he's turned himself. He's turned himself. So.
No, I still think there's an undercoat tyres out there. I think they're taking a lot of by doing this so early.
Yeah, what a horrible place to rejoin on a chicane. But he's done it well. He's done it well and he's done it safely. So I can only salute that. But he is absolutely last now. That's a massive shame. We were on for a great race there. Right, let's get back here. So this is Miguel Freitas leading the fight for 5th. Let me see if I can show you this and this. And you can see where the entire grid is at the minute. Oh no, Andrew Littler is last at the moment, but he's only just last.
It's a large lap, and once you're away from the toe, it's very hard to get back on here, I think.
It is, yeah, very. We've got lots going on further back here. I'm going to have to find some of these incidents. Can't keep waiting to show them, so let me go back and find out initially what happened to Stephen Walker. Because that one is a bit of an issue. Right, as these guys go fighting again. Right, we're going to go back and look now, because if we don't look now, we never will. So, this is pretty much off the line. I remember moving the camera back. Oh, no, it's not. This is further back. That was the second of them. Right, okay. We did actually see that one live.
Yes.
I've got other people passing him, but no actual incident involving Stephen Walker. Why was he far back? Who knows? Right, let's have a look at this. And then I'll select him. So this is the fight for the lead. He's gone into the corner there. He's got a bit of a netcode side to side. And then done a barn door, which is where the back end slaps around behind you.
Great save.
Yeah, great save, but then it all came to pieces further on. And then we need to find out what happened to Flashy Elmore, because he went from 3rd to, well, mid-pack. This is what happened to Flashy. Oh, right, okay. He kind of came across the front of Jamie Jeffrey and left him with no racing room, and that was the outcome. Okay. So, back to...
We're having a bit of a problem seeing the stage of the track tonight, Pete.
Yeah. Let me get rid of whatever that
Seen
is.
Quite a lot of squeezed cars going around.
Yes, we have. Yes, absolutely
It's
right.
such a wide arena. You'd think they could maybe an inch or two more, because we don't need any solid air with these cars.
No, and we've seen a little bit of that. I think there's a few connectivity issues knocking around the web this evening. Right, so
I've got to say, this is a grand sight. Oh, the beautiful liveries on the track, and they look splendid going around.
They really do, yeah. It's quite a sight, to be fair. Let's just have a quick look at what's happening at the front. That's not where the action is, of course. Sam Blees is your race leader. You can see that he's got a 1 second lead over David Johansson there in 2nd place. There is David. Spencer McCarthy in 3rd in his second race second week this season. But Jamie Jeffrey giving him all the pressure he needs.
That's great driving by Jamie. So anybody who can give Spencer a bit of pressure is doing very well.
Yeah, very much so. We were seeing David Corpus giving Tony Walker something to think about. And as you can see on your timing tower there, Tony Walker is now the premium AM driver in 8th place overall.
That's great drive. But I'm not surprised anymore. But the thing, with Tony, he's been consistently good.
Yes.
For ages now, and I'm no longer surprised to see him around the top 10 and fighting hard.
No,
and he's been driving so beautifully as well.
Let me have a look further back. So Arnaud Chenonnier and Sam Bouzin were scrapping a minute ago, but Arnaud Chenonnier has got the better of him. That is somebody with a slowdown. Is that Jesus? It is. Jesus, I'm under 8. Oh.
It's so you guys.
Yeah, I think he's burning off a slowdown. That's the only explanation for this.
Right, no, that was. I think that was looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah, 3 wide, and some boozing, a bit of bumping, but I guess you can understand that.
It's dodgems out there,
Isn't
Pete.
it just? That's Arnaud Chenonnier.
Not used to seeing this kind of rough and tumble, really.
No.
I think, you know, with the new drivers coming to the league, we just need those few weeks to settle down and for people to start to chill out a little bit.
Yes.
It will sort itself out and we'll see an end to this rough and tumble eventually.
It will. Jesus making an issue out of this for Arnaud Chenonnier. And as long as Arnaud leaves enough racing room there, yeah, he has done. This will continue for many more laps, I expect. We're going to move forward because Jay McCauley and Jason Haddington are at it. Jay McCauley on the outside line there, getting the rough end of that one. The nip back here is Neil Ferrier has found this group of cars. He's on a massive recovery drive after looping it at the chicane towards the end of the lap. So he's already put Marcel Frick behind him there for Result Clothing.
That was a very nice move there, wasn't it?
It was.
You take that tight, that was skillful car handling, and I don't think Neil will be hanging around to get back to the front.
No, and Arnaud Chenonnier has just passed some booze in there. For oh dear. Nice catch. Nice catch. So a bit of door-to-door and a bit of aggressive driving from both of them, I would suggest. So there's a bit of 50-50 in both of those moves. Owen Patterson, where are you off, mate? He's out in the kitty litter. I don't know whether he was helped into the kitty litter. Doesn't look like it. Chris Needham has gone to pit road, Alan, and come back out, so he must have got a fast repair.
Yes, lap 6, but when are we thinking? Lap 6, yeah, he's not pit stop here, so he wouldn't want to be in the pits at all. And
No.
You don't want to see a car in the pits in this sprint race. There isn't. It's just never a good thing.
No, this is for a good amount of points. What's on the screen right now? This is for third place. Spencer McCarthy having a fight for third place with Jamie Jeffrey, and look at who's stalking them just behind. That is Big Miguel Freitas.
That's a scary sight in your rearview mirror.
Oh, it's just... You got the Jaws music playing, haven't you? At full volume as well.
Well, the thing is, you know, he comes here to get good, exciting, clean racing against skilled opponents. And that's why he turns up on the track.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
This is a place where he can get that. And, you know, when you're as good as Miguel is, it's not that easy to find good racing.
That was
You know,
yeah.
there aren't that many fields and many leagues that can show as many high-quality drivers in one patch.
No, I mean, when we did the averages for Pro... blimey, crikey. When we did the averages for Pro, it was 4,413 IR at the start of the season. And that is immense. That's immense.
That's an average.
That's the average?
Yeah.
I think it started at 7k or something. As Jamie Jeffrey, like a legend, has got on the inside. He's on the wrong side for the next corner, though. This is going to go on. I'm not even apologetic about sticking with this because this is brilliant. Giving each other plenty of room and keeping it clean. That's lovely.
They're both as good as it gets.
Yeah.
When it comes to car handling, this is great stuff.
Yeah. Miguel finds himself boxed in at the minute. He's on the outside of these two turns here. Outside of this turn, though, you don't lose much because it's such an open corner. And you can, if you get your car alongside just a little bit into the next one, gain an advantage, but Spencer's too good for that. Too good.
This circuit's a bit like chess, really, isn't it?
It can be, yeah. That's a good point.
You know, it's so diagonal.
Yeah.
They're up and down, and these can judge the breaking points so accurately. So there's, people
Oh,
trying to
Spencer.
squeeze. Oh,
Spencer outbreaks himself there. Jamie Jeffrey
it's a
gets...
terrible hard corner.
It is.
It's no surprise to see people outbreaking this one.
Who's that?
It's because these guys are on the edge, aren't they?
Who's that there in sixth place? It looks like Carl Hardy's car, but there's no way it can be. Sixth place?
He's been lurking and keeping out of trouble.
Ah! Keeping out of it. He's getting in it.
Well, he's caught up with trouble, I suggest.
Yes, he has. Miguel gets past Spencer as well. I don't know whether Spencer's used his stuff and got molten tyres as Sam Blees sets the fastest lap of the race at 2:02.63. Nearly a quali lap, that. David Johansson 1.5 seconds behind. And then we've got the battle we were just watching. Jamie Jeffrey, who's not really in a battle anymore. But these three certainly are. Miguel, Spencer and Carl. And that there is... Oh dear, I'm so slow when it comes to doing this.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
There we
Russ.
go. It's Russ. Right.
Well, let me tell you, did you see the gap that James poured on Miguel?
Yeah,
Already?
it's massive.
I couldn't
1.3
believe that.
seconds. That's unreal.
Look!
Yeah. Right, we're going to nip way further back down to a fight for 25th because it's all going on back here still. This is Andrew McKinley just in that Civic there with the green car being Arnaud Chenonnier with a few reorganised panels, we'll call it, on his car. And Sam Boozin behind him. We saw them getting a bit touchy-feely, a bit of an inappropriate business going on. But they are catching Jesus and then Marcel. And in front of Marcel is Kevin Daniels, who we've not seen much of. He's not quite got a whole car, Alan.
Oh, has he got most of it though, Pete?
He's got most of it, yeah. He's got no boot or spoiler. In fact, the rear of that car is a complete afterthought.
Just fripperies, Pete. Just frippery.
Yeah.
He doesn't need them. Clearly, he can drive without that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Oh, got to nip forward because...
Just going on his holidays, he can't get his cases in.
Yeah. He's trying to dry his clothing, isn't he? Right, so this is Stephen Walker on a recovery drive after everything that happened on lap 1, really. But he's getting Roger Morton at the minute. Roger's pretty fast in that car.
But the thing about Roger, he's, he learned how to defend the line through all those years on the grass tracks.
Yes, yeah, very true.
And his car control is really exceptional. And his placement of the car on the track is also impeccable.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to get past when he gets determined about it.
However, the legend that is the luckiest Wookiee on the planet just did the most amazing outbraking manoeuvre on him. It wasn't a send because he wasn't alongside. He got caught out by where Roger started braking and then said, all right, if you're going to brake there, then I'll just shot it down the inside. And that's exactly what he did. Now,
lots of room to do it.
Do not adjust your sets, folks. This is Carl Hardy putting pressure on Spencer.
I'm wondering about Spencer here.
Yeah, me too.
He made that early progress and he got past all these people on the way up.
Yeah. Don't know what happened. Right, we're going to have to watch something because it's just happened. Oh God. That's us joining it after the event, really.
Oh.
That's Arnaud Chenonnier that's giving him a bit of a hip check there, I think.
No.
It actually started a little bit further back than that, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's do an autopsy on this. So Jesus is well offline here. Gets a bit sideways, gets a lack of traction. Arnaud, well, right, so...
Oh, what's he doing?
Well, Jesus still needed some track, it has to be said. Right.
They're all a bit sideways.
Yeah, I would say so. I do think that Arnaud maybe should have given him some more driving surface to be on. But we'll see. Kevin Daniels without any rear downforce, and you don't go. Oh God, sorry. Neil Ferrier was so late on the brakes there. I thought he was going to wipe out 3 cars. Kevin Daniels, he's got. Got no rear downforce.
Sorry, I'd be a little heart going.
Oh, Sam Boozin giving Neil Ferrier a bit of something to think about. Neil Ferrier on the outside here. Finds a face full of Kevin Daniels.
There's a lot of banzai in this tonight.
Isn't
Seems
there?
like there's, going into these corners.
I know,
There's a lot of
yeah.
side by side and scary
Oh,
stuff.
Sam Boozin catches it.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Just keep your toe in. Right, we must be on last lap, I think, because
they're
we're
getting plenty of practice, aren't they, at keeping that back end in?
Yeah. Well, if you're after something exciting, folks, you found it.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
He's not on the screen, but I just thought I'd press it again because it's fun. Right, Stephen Walker still making his way forward again. That's David Corpus in front of him for Lurch's Academy. Right there. This is a battle for 9th. We need to look back at the battle for 15th, which is at the minute, well, it's uncontested. So Ika Leiku, at the minute, is going to be the reverse grid. So he's going to be the pole man if he stays there, that is. JB Dejoux is chasing him down with Jamie Wilson in close company. Further forward is where the action is. Sorry?
They're not going to catch him, are they? It's going to be...
No.
What is 20 minutes?
Right, where is Sam Blees on the track? I think he's going to be coming around to take the checkered flag here. So a couple of corners left for him. And more points in the bag, not just for Sam Blees, our reigning champion, but also for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing as he comes across the line. Gives us a little wiggle and takes the points. David Johansson second, and a little bit of flashing of lights, and even more behind as Jamie Jeffrey gets a podium.
Yeah, fantastic drive by Jamie.
Yeah, sorry, we're still at the race. Ooh, Roger Morton, where are you? Roger Morton seems to have. Oh, I don't know what's on with Roger.
Oh, no.
He's disconnected. He's disconnected.
Oh, he's lost his...
His internet's gone. Damn it. That boy has no luck when it comes to internet, does he?
No, it's so unfortunate, especially when you just come to the end of... You're coming to the end of a race. I mean, can you imagine a worse time for that to happen?
I know.
That's shocking.
I know. Matt Flannery just got 17th place by 0.01 of a second over Jay Corley. So, amazing bit of racing at the end of that there. Good grief. What a race that was. Right, where do I go for this? I click that. And I... Hang on.
I've lost you.
There we go. Right, okay, so Sam Blees took home all the glory for the first of tonight's races here at Week 2, Mobility Resort Motegi for Season 15 of the TCR Challenge Cup. For Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, David Johansson finished second for Sim Racing Grid. Jamie Jeffrey was third for Coupes and Convertibles Racing. And Miguel Freitas finished fourth for Impulse Racing, with Carl Hardy in fifth for Safeguard by Result. Spencer McCarthy in sixth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And Russ Cowell, we're racing for Spectre, all his mates. Eighth was the first of our AM class races, which was Tony Walker for Spectre 6. And Stephen Walker, his teammate, and poleman for that race in ninth, also for Spectre 6, obviously. David Corpus finished 10th for Lurch's Academy. Tom Woodcock, a great outing there, 11th for Sim Racing Grid. And Pete Van Gool, you were talking about him at the start, saying he looked a lot more comfortable behind the wheel of this. Now, in 12th, Matt Elmore, flashy, 13th for Spectre 6, with JB behind him in 14th for BSTV Esports Pink, and Jamie Wilson in 15th for Team Chimera. And then we had Owen Patterson in 16th, Matt Flannery in 17th, 18th was Jay Corley. There we go. I've lost where I am now. There. 19th was Kylie Haddington. Ika Lakey was 20th. 21st was Andrew McKinley. Marcel Frick in 22nd. Neil Ferrier, much delayed, in 23rd. Arnaud Chenonnier in 24th. Kevin Daniels with no boot in 25th. Sam Boozin in 26th. 27th was Andrew Littler. 28th was Alejandro Silva. Roger Morton ended up getting ejected by his own internet and relegated way down to 29th after such a good showing. And then Jesus Amandere in 30th, and Chris Needham was 31st. Wow, that was some kind of
We're used to some excitement in that 20-minute sprint race, to be honest, aren't we? We see it time and time again.
Yes, definitely. What we should and usually do see now is people practicing pit stops, purely for the fact that on most tracks pit stops are a challenge and an occupational hazard in the feature race, where you pretty much have to, apart from last week with the extreme length of pit road and time off the racing track. It went on to being a benefit to actually stay out. And that's how Sam Blease took home the feature race plaudits last time. So who else is on?
Very unusual circumstances, though, Pete. We hadn't seen it done so easily. I mean, we've seen Sam manage to pull that off before, but at great risk, and we've seen him fail before. But the fact that he wasn't the only one that managed to pull that off last week showed that it was a very sound strategy.
Yeah.
And I don't see the same circumstances here this week.
No.
And look at that pit lane. Look at that pit lane.
Absolutely right. It's quite a long pit lane, but it's a fast one. That's the difference. Entrance to it is very quick. DD on the chat clearly calling out for Kevin Daniels, who we're watching at the minute, funnily enough. Let me. There we go.
David's saying that Spencer slowed down and let Carl across the line in 5th. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Might have been a fuel issue, it has to be said. Nobody on the track map because it's not on this little piece of tarmac here. But yeah, Kevin had a power outage last week, and he's had a crash this week already in this one. We're just gonna jump to.
Things are obviously going to be on the up and up for Kevin then.
Yeah, so the cones start before you turn right into pit road, and then pit road is quite a lengthy exercise as we drive through cars. Always freaks me out, but never mind. Jamie Wilson always does. Yeah, I don't either. Jamie Wilson always does pit lanes as they should be. Right, and we are going to grid. So
we've seen, the pit lane. We've seen the pit lane make a difference in race after race. So you can never underestimate the effect it can have on the outcome of a race.
No, not at all.
Not a bit of tarmac there.
So I am going to do what I did before because it's the only way that I can do it. So we need to do one of them.
So at the moment I've got some Discord.
Excellent.
It's a bit wobbly, but
I've got it. Yeah. Discord wobbly is better than no Discord at all. Right, so Jamie Wilson ended up with 15th place for Team Chimera and starts first. JB Deju off second. Matt Elmore off third. Pete Van Gool off fourth. Fifth will be Tom Woodcock. David Corpus off sixth. Seventh will be Stephen Walker. Tony Walker, his brother, will be next to him on the grid.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Russell Cowell will go off 9th. Spencer McCarthy will go off 10th. Carl Hardy off 11th. Miguel Freitas off 12th. Where's my button? 13th, Jamie Jeffrey. 14th, David Johansson. Race 1 winner, Sam Blease off 15th, obviously. Owen Patterson off 16th. Matt Flannery 17th. 18th will be Jay Corley. 19th, Kylie Haddington. Ike Leku 20th. 21st, Andrew McKinley. 22nd, Marcel Frick. 23rd, Neil Ferrier. 24th, Arnaud Chenonnier. 25th, Kevin Daniels. 26th, Sam Booz. And 27th, Andrew Littler. 28th, Alejandro Silva Carrera. 29th, Roger Morton. Jesus Amandere, 30th. And 31st will be Chris Needham. Going to find myself a better camera. Do a bit of this. Find somebody else to look at. A better camera still. There we go. Nobody flashing lights. Love it. Can't think of a better start. Who's on the other side of the track that we can look at? David Corpus is on the right hand side of the track, so that gives us a good view down the pit lane. cameras on this track suck when you're on the start line. You can either see it from behind or right from the front, which doesn't help anybody.
It did give us that great view of the beautiful even lift of the first race, though.
Oh yeah,
Which was
absolutely.
quite spectacular.
Yeah,
it was. And it does give you, if somebody gets a bad start, you're going to spot it, aren't you?
you are. Everybody's on the grid now. Here we go. Lights are coming on. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lights out. We are go at Motegi for the feature race. This is supposed to not be a sprint, but as we've found out on previous races, it often turns into a sprint. Into turn 1 we go, and we hope that everything's reasonably civilised. Getting around turn 1, that looks pretty clean.
Traditionally, we do have a slightly more cautious beginning of the feature race because, of course, it's a lot longer race and people want to be able to get into it and enjoy it. So,
you were saying?
well generally, it's the truth. But
oh, somebody's off. Who was that?
Yes.
Stephen Walker.
Skating.
Stephen Walker
No.
with a massive off track. I don't know where he's gone. Even iRacing doesn't know where he is. That's weird. Right, we're going to have to watch the rest
just disappeared.
of it. It did. It vanished off the face of the earth. And that is a very slow-moving JB Deju trying to get out of the way. He must have a slowdown. Has to. Oh, Russell Cowell has taken out Jamie Jeffrey. He got spooked by a slow-moving JB. Jamie Jeffrey's going. Russell Cowell is back going, but I think he's got some severe damage. That front right wheel is definitely not attached to the car, and he's going to continue to do that. I don't know whether he can hear the broadcast, but his wheel is not attached. He needs to pit the car.
I'm sure you'll notice eventually.
Yeah, Nikolai says that Stephen Walker hit 88 miles an hour and went back to the future, which, although that is pretty funny to be fair. PVG trying to put a move on Spencer, or is Spencer trying to put a move on Pete Van Gool? I think it's Spencer passing him. So we continue with this race. Who's that going backwards? Neil Ferrier again. Has reset to the pits. We're going to have to look at that.
No,
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, he went off track, and he went off track for about a year. Jay Corley as well. Right, let's see what happened here. So he got alongside the car he was next to. And, well, he could have given a little bit more room, if I'm being honest. The car inside was expecting room and didn't get any. So we'll carry on. Well, where's my live button gone? Excuse me.
Oh.
Right, so back at the front end of the feast. This is Miguel trying to put a move on David Corpus here. He's on the wrong side for it, really, but this real sweeping right-hander has got plenty of opportunity if you're on the left-hand side. Certainly sets you up for this first part of the S's. Second part of the S's will belong to David Corpus, I would expect. Side by side as they go into this very tight left-hander. A little bit of rubbing, but nothing naughty. And then off to the races for this tight right-hander. David Corpus showing very well here. Keeping Miguel at bay.
Good driving by both of them.
Yeah, he's
it
now...
takes two to tango, it really does. And
yeah, that's Sam Blease behind David Corpus now, getting a tow down the hill. Two previous champions, or current champion and previous champion, around and about David Corpus at the moment. Sam Blease is going to be like a rat up a drain pipe through this kink next to David. He's not going to... Is he? He is. He's going to manage to get to the apex of the chicane first.
He's getting every little bit of tow, isn't he? Or trying to.
Yeah, he's extracting everything he can.
That's some late braking and Miguel knows how to do that.
Yeah, Carl Hardy with the fastest lap of this race so far.
Well, Carl's driving like an absolute starter now.
Out of his skin this evening, yeah. So a few cars recovering right at the back of the grid there. Jay Corley being the first of them. Russell Cowell, we saw him get ejected. Stephen Walker, we saw him going to Back to the Future, as Nikolai Bogotyrev clearly stated. And Neil Ferrier, we saw what happened with him. 2 into 1 didn't go for him, so the maths didn't work. Right, at the very front, your leader is Flashy Elmore for Spectre 6. His teammate, Tony Walker, who is the top running AM driver, is in second overall right now with Jamie Wilson behind him. And then Spencer McCarthy, Tom Woodcock, another AM driver, Carl Hardy, and Pete Van Gool. And Pete Van Gool's still got Miguel behind him, which only bodes well for Pete Van Gool.
Yes, that's this is clearly Pete's best performance, and I'm glad to see it because he's my mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is great by him, and he's chasing somebody he's very familiar with. Of course, you know, we go back a long way, and he knows Carl very well.
Yeah.
And he'll be quite happy to be chasing him.
Yeah, David Johansson has got Owen Patterson in front of him from Ignium, and Andrew McKinley behind him from Ignium Blaze, so he's in a bit of an Ignium sandwich at the minute. And Carl's going defensive. Sam Blease with the fastest lap of the race so far, going side by side with Miguel. So these are two giants of this league thrashing it out, Alan.
Yes, well, we're used to seeing this happening, aren't we? We get some
are.
fantastic battling, and we see these top drivers giving us a lot to enjoy week after week.
Yeah.
And they know how to race, and this level of competence, of course, and it goes down the field, it drips down the field, and within a few weeks, everybody will be showing the same kind of patience, and we'll get half the incidents. But I think this track is actually catching a lot of people out.
Yes, it is, as Owen Patterson's just found out. He's rejoining safely around the edge of the track, trying to get up to speed. Cars behind him have spotted him. That's really nice. We'll have a look and see what happened to him in a moment.
These cars have a bit of a habit to understeer, don't they?
So
It wouldn't surprise me if that isn't causing these people, you know, some of these, because we're seeing them coming out the corners.
Yeah.
And they're leaning out. The cars are leaning out, aren't they? And I'm just wondering if the little bit of oversteer on these really sharp corners is cutting people out a little bit.
I'm going to have another look at that one, because that was a proper coming together. Let's have another look. So this is David Johansson chasing Owen Patterson. David goes wide. Oh, right, okay, I'm not sure. I think Owen was very hard on the brakes in front of him, and he may have caught David Johansson out, but that's why they both ended up the way they were.
Yes, that's caught David completely by surprise, I think, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. Right, so we've got some visitors to pit road. Sam Blease being one of them. David Johansson is another. In fact, pit road's getting busy. That's Ika Leku. So anybody with damage, anybody that's delayed, anybody...
David have to quit to the pits, or did he drive in?
I think he drove in, yep.
Well, that's a relief, because he'll have got some damage, I think, from that previous encounter.
Yeah, I would think so. Jamie Jeffrey has carried on. I thought he might pit, which is why I moved to him. At the minute, he's scything his way through the field. He's much delayed, obviously, after getting turned at the same time as Russ Cowell, who is back on track. Neil Ferrier isn't. I don't know whether he's still getting repaired, towed, any of that. He's I think he might be out. He is. He's gone. That's David Johansson getting some sort of extended pit stop attention. He should have gone by now. He should have gone a long time ago. So something going on there for him. We'll come back to that.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, flashy Elmore continues to lead the race, getting points for leading laps. Tony Walker is behind him, getting the Spencer treatment now.
Well, this was great, isn't it?
Yep. Tom Woodcock.
Tony Walker running second with Spencer McCarthy chasing him down.
Yep. Spencer's popped out of his toe here, not that he used the toe very much at all, and has pulled pretty much alongside, and Tony's not fighting it. He's saying that's not my fight. Probably sensible policy, that. We're going to nip back here because JB Dejoux is having a fight with Alejandro Silva Carrera, and just behind is Roger Morton, ready to mop up whatever he can find as other people go to pit road. Carl Hardy and Pete Van Gool.
Only lap 5, you know.
Actually, yeah. Well, we're on lap 6 now.
Yeah.
Or just started. Sorry, you are right. They did start to pit early, earlier than we would see normally, but the lap is a lot longer, Alan, isn't it? 2-minute lap. So lots of cars visiting pit road very early.
People aren't going to get caught out with their fueling.
Yeah, Matt Flannery, Arnaud Chenonnier, and Kevin Daniels. Kevin Daniels with an entire car, Alan. Always,
nice.
I know, it's always a bonus, isn't it? Very much thrashing it out back here, currently for 9th place. So good points on offer. Obviously, there's pit stops around them.
Well, there's a bit of pride if you can get a top 10 finish in this race. I think anybody can be proud of themselves.
Yeah. Why does it say that Jamie Jeffrey is out? That's a connection issue.
Oh no!
I think there's internet worries all over the place, Alan. I don't think it's just with us. I think he's been absolutely mullered by his internet, sadly.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Yeah, that's not what you need.
No, Rogers had it in the first race. No, Jamie, we just don't see it, do we?
No, definitely not. And we had something with Stephen Walker, who is...
Yes, with Stephen just disappeared into space.
Yeah, and it wasn't even an event on SDK, which makes it even more suspect. Jamie Jeffrey down as out because he's not got a connection to us. So Lord knows what's going on with the internet tonight, folks. It's either an iRacing or a Discord issue. Well, it can't be a Discord issue, can it? These guys aren't on Discord, but there you go. So David Johansson right back here. He had a monstrous pit stop. I think he got done for speeding because he was in his box for 49 seconds. He should have been there for 9. So he's had a 40-second stop and hold for speeding or dangerous entry. One of those two things.
Yeah, that's why you did point out it's a very tricky entry. And,
it is. It is.
Especially when you're under pressure. These guys know that they can't afford to lose any time in the pits. They're coming in under pressure. They're pushing the boundaries, and very easy just to get it wrong by just the tiniest fraction. You've only got to get it wrong by a bumper, and you've got a penalty.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's a desperation there, isn't there? You can make up so much time in the pits if you do it really cleverly. But there's only the finest of margins between clever and penalty. We're going to move to Kevin Daniels because he's putting pressure still onto Matt Flannery. This is a pre-pit stop, if that's the terminology.
It's a great performance by Matt, isn't it?
It is. Sorry, folks, if you can hear Discord pinging in the background. I had to turn it back on, the sound. I'm trying to see if people have updated statuses. Right. Jamie Jeffrey got DQ'd for not doing repairs.
That's better than a shutdown.
It
He
is.
can live with that.
Yeah.
He can live with that. He knew what he was doing. He probably thought if he had to come into the pits, he would have lost so much. And who knows? But at least he wasn't let down by his equipment, because that makes you sore.
Yes, it does. Some Booze has sent me a message, but I don't know what it means at the minute. I'll find out later.
Is it in French by any chance?
It's not. It's in English, but it doesn't make it any easier to translate. Funnily enough, Sam Blees here putting a move on Alejandro Silva Carrera, who's in the thick of it tonight. Alejandro, I can only applaud his ability to sit with these guys racing around him, because they are absolutely giving him some grief.
Andy Lippner's doing great as well tonight. He's,
He is.
I know he's the pits, but his pace has been good, and he's well up the field at the moment. And the pit Scots have created a false situation, but Andy's driving well, and you've got to be determined and keep your concentration on these long straights. It's very easy. We've seen people easy to make a slight misjudgment, and doing very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Walker is officially out of this race. He was still turning laps until recently. Sorry, go on.
I'm going to say he's probably had enough of it after what's been. Is it?
Yeah.
In and out, disappearing, who knows what. But he won't be delighted with what his brother's doing.
Oh, yeah.
The Walker family has been incredibly well represented.
Isn't it? I mean, Tony is in third at the minute, the highest placed AM driver. He's got Tom Woodcock not that far behind in AM, who is in fourth at the moment. And that's not because of pit stops, really, because they were already in front by the time the pit stops started. Yeah.
That's right. They're running their positions. And
I mean, look at that. Miguel is behind them.
I imagine he's catching up quickly.
No. So I don't know whether he's on some sort of... Well, actually, I apologise. Yes, he was 7/10 faster than Tom Woodcock last lap. But it's taken him a while to get to that pace because of other things going on. By other things, I actually mean Sam Blees, who has pitted, and Miguel obviously has not. Kevin Daniels and Matt Flannery need to get a room because they've been together all race.
Good drive by Matt, though, isn't it? Kevin's pro, and Matt's doing a really good drive.
I think Kevin got the wall there on pit lane entry.
Not what you want.
No, trying to deal with that S-bend as you enter into pit road. But in the end, a good stop. Right, Sam Boozen's followed him in. Who else is in the thick of it at the moment? So, back here, I should say, is Roger Morton chasing down Marcel Frick, and JB Dejoux heads up this little trio. These guys have pitted, and they are going to come down pit road at the same time as Chris Needham is he leaving pit road? And Sam Boozen definitely is. He's going to come out right behind his own teammate and just ahead of Marcel Frick. So nicely timed pit lane exit there from Sam Boozen. Teammates together here in BSTV pink. Wobbly with other things to do in the real world. I mean, it's that week, isn't it, Alan, where it's Christmas drinks and such. You can't really argue with it.
Not yet. These people have family commitments at this time of the year, and it's difficult sometimes to find the time to come and do your racing.
Yeah.
And you've got other things to attend to, and we all have to make these. I'm fortunate, but most people have to negotiate to have to be sitting in their rigs and have to go to a lot of trouble and keep families happy.
Yep.
So you can't race and enjoy it unless your family's happy.
No. So Jamie Wilson has caught Alejandro Silva Carrera a little while ago. They've been swapping positions for a while. Alejandro reminded Jamie that he was still on track a moment ago with a little touch. Behind them is Andrew Littler. And Alejandro is a lap down. Jamie is he's not a lap down, sorry. He is still waiting to pit, whereas Jamie Wilson behind him has already pitted. And then Owen Patterson into the pits. In the foreground of your screen there was the first man to have pitted, Sam Blees. And when I say the first man, he is the highest performing driver who has pitted already. That's what I mean by that.
Well, you know, Sam is a master of pit stops. He either goes and gets one early or
Yeah.
doesn't get one at all, but he's always keeping us guessing.
Yeah, so Owen is going to pop out just ahead of JB and Sam Boozen, who we saw leave the pits on the last lap. So that's going to come together for another battle shortly, I would think. This is still together. This is Jamie Wilson trying to get a move done here on Alejandro Silva Carrido, who's not making it easy for him. Obviously, these are in different classes. Jamie going round the outside here at this tight right-hander.
Trying to get the cut back, I think.
Well, under the bridge and then round this sweeping right-hander. He should get a good slingshot, in theory, into the left-hander at the S's. No, he didn't.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes,
So
it just shows you if you just keep on the racing line and you keep a decent pace, you can make it very tricky, can't you?
You can.
To get by you, and he's just demonstrating that because we know that Jamie's really good at passing. So
Yeah.
Has he made it this time? We've got to just judge it right though on these corners, and
so a little later.
a fascinating little exchange.
Yeah, so he's nearly done it this time.
Yes, so it's just judgment, isn't it? The finest tolerances, judgment,
Yeah.
and braking, and how quickly you get on the gas.
So they are
Exquisitely beautiful.
yeah, absolutely side by side as they come down the hill here. Shows the power out of the corners of that Civic, because round the outside there, he's not lost any ground whatsoever on the Veloster of Jamie Wilson. And now, this looked like it was going to get painful for a second as BBG says, "Excuse me,
Yeah,
room for a little one," and through he goes.
that was pretty slick.
It was. He wasn't being asked twice, was he, Pete Van Gool?
No, Pete won't hang around if he sees an opportunity and he can do it.
And Jamie Wilson rather must be looking and going, hang on a minute, that car was white a minute ago. What's going on? So what else was I going to look at? I was going to look at this because this is for the very lead of the race. That is flashy Matt Elmore, getting overtaken by Spencer for race lead.
Well, there you go. There's Spencer in the lead of the race.
Yep. Sorry, we're going to go back
Not the
here.
first time we've seen that. Not the last time we'll see it, I
Definitely not.
suspect.
Is that Andy Littler there?
Here's
It is.
Andy Littler in his beautiful car.
Yeah. With Jay
His
Corley.
fine work guard colours.
Yeah, Jay Corley for company. No other work guard car tonight. Fiona had other things on. She was at the ice hockey, so
Banging her drum.
banging her drum. Around the outside, maybe for Jay Corley.
You know, the car is very hard to keep tight, and that's where you see that. And it cost Andy there a bit, didn't it? You see?
It did. Arnaud Chenonnier not waiting either. He's through on Andy Littler. And this is quite a pack here.
Hopefully he can tuck in, but he's lost a lot of ground going around there.
So
I think he lost quite a lot of momentum there.
Yeah.
Game.
Interesting to see where Miguel is going to pop out in relation to Sam Blease. This is going to be close, actually. Because there's Miguel, and here comes Sam Blease. There's not going to be a great deal in it. I think Sam Blease has got it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Sam Blease doing the fastest lap of the race on that lap. So he knew what was going on.
He knew what was going on. Well, Sam does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Here comes Jesus out of the pits. He's had a very busy race. I can only applaud him for the amount of battling he's been doing. He's going to come out somewhere near JB Dejoux and Sam Boozen, like everybody else seems to be doing right now. And Owen Patterson right next to him. And competitive into the corner, so...
Come on, Owen.
yeah. Come on, Jesus. And JB, so JB showing well again.
We want them all to do well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We're partisan. We're on everybody's side.
Yes, we are. Apart from Wobblies. But he's not here, so that doesn't matter. Are you really?
On Wobblies' side, yeah.
Really? You're the only one. You're the only one.
Well, if that's the case, I'm quite happy to be the odd man out. I'll be his Tiny Tim or wherever it is.
Yeah. So, Matt Elmore not letting Spencer go. He's stayed with him for a few laps here.
Well, you can guarantee that Matt will be doing everything he can. His teeth will be gritted. He'll be just trying his best, won't he? You know, talk about old adversaries and old friends. There will be. He will be doing his damnedest. And the way he's been driving recently, he'll fancy his chances.
He will. JB having a real good long look at Jesus there, and he couldn't manage it. He was a bit late into it, so it was a bit of a send. I think he didn't want to overtake him in that way, so fair enough.
What happened to Miguel? His name? Was it the pace that put him back?
He had a bit of trouble early on. Not massive trouble, but the cars in front of him, he's the second car that's pitted, you see. As in, second car on track. The first car on track that's pitted is Sambly's. Or the highest performing car that's pitted. One of those descriptors is correct. So we'll have to see, really, where Spencer and Matt Elmore pop out. Yeah.
Keep an eye on that gap between
at the
Miguel
moment,
and Sam there. Was it 2 seconds?
It was 2 seconds. Now, they are 25 seconds behind this pairing of position 1, position 2, Spencer and Matt. How long do you need in the pits? You need longer than 25 seconds, boys. So, I'm not going to say what the number is. They can get that from their teammates or their spotters, I guess, but I'm not going to tell them.
It's a long pit lane.
It is. It is.
And it's a tricky entry as well, so... oh, crikey. Hey, I've not drunk any of my beautiful gift scotch.
Oh, cheers, get on it. Get on it. Oh, everybody's...
I've been limited by these, haven't I?
Yeah, everybody's battling, so... Kevin Daniels is trying to get a move done on Arnaud Chenonnier, who was in the thick of all the bumping and banging in race 1. Back here, we've got Sam Booz and Jesus and JB all thrashing it out back here for, what's that, 20th place? Oh, Jesus!
Keep it on the road.
Yeah,
well done.
He got Sam Booz in there.
He did great save. This is fantastic. You want to see... Yeah. If people get it out of line and then do these fantastic saves, it's great to see.
Yeah, Sam has given the place back, or he's trying to, I think. I don't know. He's certainly slow into some of these corners. Maybe he's just waiting for him to get alongside again.
Trying to be as tight as he can going in there.
Yeah, he's pulled off line though, so... Or is he just defending? I think he's just defending, actually. So, a couple more visitors to pit road on your timing towers there. So, Tom Woodcock and Matt Flannery. Roger Morton in behind these two cars is...
Yes.
He looks fast. He does look fast, actually. Roger Morton does. He's very good on the brakes compared to these two.
He will be enjoying having people to race with and battle against. It's his lifeblood.
Yeah. This is Matt Flannery and Chris Needham. Chris Needham much delayed. He had he's actually up quite a lot of positions from his start position because he's delayed because of race 1 actually, where he started absolutely last, and he's up to 16th.
Out of position.
Very out of position. Yeah, totally right. Yeah. He was the champion GT4, so he's not wearing the champion's banner anymore. Oh no, where you going, mate? Oh no, it was so late on the brakes I thought that was going to be carnage with a capital car, but
he pulled it off.
Yeah, Ike Aleku is the reason he pulled that off, because if Ike hadn't been as aware as he was, that would have been an utter disaster. Oh no, Chenonnier getting alongside Ike again here. This is where the action's at, because just in the background there is Kevin Daniels. I don't know what line Arnaud was taking into there.
He's very aggressive sometimes when he wants to get by.
Yes. Is all I can respond to that with.
You just it does pay you to keep your eyes open.
Yeah, I would love to know what happened to Wook. He said good old iRacing on the chat, which means something iRacing has just chinned him out of the session clearly. Right, so Kevin Daniels has a look at Arnaud, as there's all sorts of position, not changes, but nearly changes. David Corpus is in pit road at the moment. This will be an interesting one. He's one of the later pit stoppers. Only four more after this, sorry. He comes out ahead of Jamie Wilson, who is here, with Pete Van Gool in close company.
We're getting down to the last 10 minutes, Pete. We do get that last story, don't we? We get the people are hanging on for the last minute, the last bit of vaporized fuel to go down their thirsty tanks, because they'll push it right to the edge sometimes, and sometimes over the edge.
Yeah, something I am utterly stunned by, and I had to check my eyeballs a minute ago, is this. So that is Matt Elmore. He's pitted the car, and he's come out ahead of Sam Blees, who was the first car to pit. And really, one of the biggest threats to winning this race, as in he would have won the race. Chris Needham, what are you doing? Why are you stood still? Something very bad has happened to Chris Needham there. He's not been that long out of the pits. It was only a few laps ago. Right, he was in this. He was in this mess of cars here. What's happened here? Oh, bad communication from whoever that was. I don't know who that would be now. Was it? It might have been Alejandro Silva Carrera. They just came together on the same bit of tarmac, so I'm sure each one thinks it was the other.
We've seen an awful lot of that tonight.
Yeah. Tony Walker on the live camera when I get to it.
I do think the circuit's a bit to blame for all these comings together. I think it's catching people out.
Personally, I think the drivers are to blame.
Yeah, well, I think they're going into the corners too fast, because it's always the exits from the corners that are causing these little comings together. It's a misjudgment of the exit of the corners.
I'm keen to see where Tony Walker pops out here, because he's one of the final cars to pit. Andrew McKinley is also in the pits behind him, and he's come out ahead of Tom Woodcock, who is right there, and he's come out in 5th place, Tony Walker. That's really good. He's the furthest forward of the AM class cars. Spencer McCarthy is still out.
That's a fantastic drive by Tony and Tom. They've held those positions throughout the race. That is just pure great driving.
It is.
And Matt, to come back onto the track in front of Sam, is an outstanding performance by him.
It is. It's stunning. It's not like his pit stop was any slower. It was almost identical, as Sam Blees pulls alongside Flashy Elmore, and they go through this sweeping S section here on the track. Now Matt Elmore's going to get a good bit of drive. He's flashing his lights. You want to concentrate on turning the car, son. He's out ahead of that corner, ahead of Sam Blees. Sam Blees trying to hold him to the inside, and Matt Elmore's having none of that. He's on the inside for this corner. He's going to be able to take a defensive line down the hill here. But Sam Blees seems to have a bit of a chase on him. Yeah, he's a bit ahead as they come down the hill here into the braking zone. Can Matt Elmore outbrake him? Well, the answer is yes, he can. Can he turn the car, though? Yes, he can. So, very nice driving from Flashy Elmore.
It's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
There'll be a smile over their faces. Some will be loving this.
All this is doing, in actual fact, is bringing Miguel into the exercise.
Yeah,
and nobody wants that.
Well, won't he?
Yeah, and look who's just exited pit road. And look how close these guys are to him. Spencer McCarthy is your new overall race leader. He has pulled a blinder, and I've not figured out yet how he's done it. Well, he's done it on
seconds going into the pits, didn't he?
He did, and he's done it on sheer pace.
Yes.
And this is going to be an absolutely brilliant race for Geo, Hydro's Geodesic Racing, if they can manage to get up in front and take the 2 spots at the top of the podium. It leaves us wondering where the last place is going to go. Is it going to go to Flashy Elmore, or is it going to go to Big Miguel Freitas?
That's a heck of a showdown.
Yeah.
We've got 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes. Goodness me. So, what's that, 2 laps?
Yeah. Russell Cowell, for information, has had to visit pit road again, obviously. He was in very early on after sustaining a lot of damage and his fuel wouldn't last out. And also, I think it was... Who was the other one? Jay Corley, I think, has been in twice. Second time, I'm not sure what he was through for the second time. Don't know.
David Johansson's...
Sorry, we're going to have to go and have a quick look at this.
Running. What happened to Carl? How did he get right way back there?
Yeah, good point. So these two thrashing it out. This is Pete Van Gool, who's caught Jamie Wilson. Let me go and find out what happened.
You can run a pace with Jamie. That is superb.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go further forward again. We're going to need to keep looking at this. I'm going to leave you to do some commentary on it while I find out what happened to Carl Hardy, because it's a very good point. He was right up at the pointy end.
Well, we've got this beautiful simmering battle here at the front, and it's all there to relish.
Carl Hardy got a pit lane penalty. 40 seconds stop and hold.
That sounds like my skipper.
That's
love
class.
Him. I do.
That's brilliant. David Johansson also way back here, also with a 40-second stop and hold. So two very good races ruined by not adhering to speed limits or safety, and that's the punishment you get, folks.
Oh dear me.
Has Kevin got a full car still? Yes, he does. Kevin Daniels with a whole car.
Well done, Kevin.
Yeah.
And that's no easy feat.
Well,
to be honest,
when you consider he's up 13 places from his start position, he was a bit out of position, really, when you think about it. As Jamie Wilson and Pete Van Gool are going at it yet again, with 3 minutes to go.
This is surely a step up for Pete. He wouldn't have been able to have kept with Jamie previously. This is maybe he's clicked. Maybe what I thought the signs are also is just happening, because it does happen that people just suddenly click. The timing and everything, just intuition just comes into place, and they start to drive any given car better. It's a very car specific thing where people click with it and suddenly find pace. I've seen that happen so many times. I know it's a fact. I just don't understand how it happens. No, I also don't understand how it hasn't happened to me.
No, well, you can include me in that equation while you're at it. Yeah, right. We're going to go and have a look at this, because Matt Elmore has clearly been taking some Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker underpants home with him, because those Lucky underpants doing well for him at the minute. He's keeping Miguel behind him. I don't know how much this is Miguel just playing with his food, as it were, and deciding, I'm not going to overtake him because it'll slow us both down. We'll try and get back on terms with the 2 guys at the front, and then I'll try and overtake all 3 of them on the last lap, or something ridiculous like that. But we must be approaching white flag if we're not already on it at the moment. I'm just going to join car number 13, Kevin Daniels, and see if I can see any waving flags. It would be right at the start of that, though, wouldn't it? So if we find car number 24, where is that?
It seems to me that Matt has demonstrated such pace tonight. I think anyone would have an hard time getting past him.
Yeah.
And I think if Miguel was close to getting past him, we would see more action. They would be closer, and it would be showing signs of actually having the pace to nip past. And at the moment, he's being staged off convincingly.
Yeah, and this battle's still raging here, and all that's happening now is that David Corpus, just in the background there, in that red Audi for Lurchis Academy. Oh, no, it's not David Corpus. Who's that?
Is that Pete?
Oh, it's Iker. Sorry, it's Iker Lecoux for Lurchis Academy. I knew it was a Lurchis car by the red and the black, but he's slowly gaining on these two. As Pete Van Gool does his overtake, but it's not all done yet, because Jamie's going to make an issue of this.
Well, They'll be loving this.
They
Pete
will.
loves to race. There'll be big grins in those cars.
Yeah, Pete Van Gool has gone wide there on that turn. We're going to be at checkered flag, I think. We're on the white lap now.
Yeah.
So, or are we? Is this 1 lap to go?
Well, we're at 39.5 minutes, so
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be another one.
You can't see Barney on this track, so we're racing still. And around we go. This is the white flag lap now.
White flag.
And now Iker has caught up with these two. I thought that was happening. So Iker and Kevin Daniels here with a whole car. Don't adjust your sets. That is a boot and a rear spoiler on that Elantra there for Kevin Daniels. They are catching Jamie and Pete Van Gool. Pete Van Gool pulling away a little bit now. Miguel Freitas lining up Matt Elmore somewhat. He's not done anything yet, and the two at the front here, formation flying with Hydro Race Geodesic Racing.
Yeah, so we seem to have a decent spread of cars as well. I don't think this circuit really favours one, as long as you haven't got straight long enough to rev out the Civic.
Yes.
Because it's got a reasonable lift, hasn't it, the Civic? It's
yeah.
So I think it's performed very well. I think all cars seem to have gone well.
Yeah, I agree. So these two not going to do much, to be honest. There'll be team orders somewhere, I'm sure. Although we've seen those two Geo cars before, they absolutely take each other to the races every time. Miguel.
I guess the team orders will be win.
Yes, the team orders will be don't kill one another, but still race if we can. Sam Blees looking like he's going to have a go here at Spencer.
Well, this is very nostalgic, isn't it?
It is, very,
it's
very.
Since we've seen these two like this.
And he's having a look. He's having a look. I've not done anything just yet. Oh, look at that.
As if we didn't have a look, wouldn't
Ooh,
you?
what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Pass me my blood pressure pills. Okay, Cap. Matt Elmore, what's he doing? Oh no, he's got a slowdown. You're joking. Has he managed to get rid of that slowdown before the end of the race?
I think it's got a blurry mess.
I think he's come in fourth after all that. I think he got a slowdown for cutting the corner. What on earth?
Does that mean Sam got in front of it?
That means... No, that was Sam that got the slowdown. Miguel got in front of him, yeah.
Yeah, Miguel got in front.
Yeah. He had to burn off the slowdown before he got across the line, so that didn't work out well for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And
that didn't.
Jamie Wilson.
Nice 1-2.
Jamie Wilson got done at the line by Kevin Daniels for the same thing.
Oh, goodness me.
Good grief. I can't keep up with this, Alan.
No. Well, crikey, Pete, it's been so much... It's so eventful. You just don't know where to start, do you?
No.
Really? It's been non-stop. We've seen a lot more banging and crashing than we're accustomed to. The nature of the track has brought the cars very close together very often.
Yeah.
And
is that Russ Cowell out of fuel? We're going to have to go on board here just to be sure. Where's the gyro? Yeah, that's an out of fuel car, so somebody needs to push that one. He's just going to get over the line on Vapors. There we go.
Bravo.
Right, and Kylie rolls over the line behind Andrew Littler, who's choking across the line as well. You can see that car pitching up and down. So all going on at the end of this race. Good grief.
Yeah, they've got holes in the bottom. They're doing a Flintstone.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Well, what a race. Goodness me.
I know, that was bonkers. What a dramatic end to that race.
Yeah.
Well.
Completely rewrote the podium in the last few yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it just goes to show you just never know, do you?
No, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you.
Well, you've had your hands full, matey.
Yes. Right, so we're going to go and have a look at this, which is, or should be anyway, the finishing order. No, why am I on 14? Oh, because I need to do that. That's right. Just a minute. There we go. So, your race winner in the feature race was Spencer McCarthy for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Congratulations to him. Getting a very lucky in the end. Second place after leading for so much of the race. Matt Elmore, flashy himself for Spectre 6. Miguel Freitas finished third for Impulse Racing. Bottom step of the podium for Miguel there. Sam Blees relegated to fourth place after picking up a slowdown with 2 corners to go, I think it was, for Hydro Race Geo Racing. And then Tony Walker, highest placed AM driver, in fifth place for Spectre 6 with Tom Woodcock not that far behind, 2.5 seconds behind him, in sixth place for Sim Racing Grid. Andrew McKinley, seventh. That's a good result for Andrew McKinley. I like that. For Ignium Motorsport Blaze. David Corpus in eighth for Lurchis Academy. That's another good result. There's going to be a few of these, I think. Pete Van Gool finished in ninth in the end, ahead of Kevin Daniels in 10th for Sim Racing Grid. Jamie Wilson ended up 11th for Team Chimera. Matt Flannery was 12th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Easy for me to say. Arnaud Chenonnier finished 13th for Air Smart Racing. Ike Lecu finished 14th for Lurchis Academy. 15th was Owen Patterson for Ignium Motorsport, with JB Dejoux in 16th behind him for BSTV Esports Pink. And his teammate Sam Boozen finished behind him in 17th, less than a second behind. Roger Morton was 18th for Safeguard by Result. 19th was Marcel Frick for Result Clothing at iRacing Team. Jesus Amandere was 20th for Lurchis Sim Racing. David Johansson ended up 21st after getting a pit lane penalty for Sim Racing Grid, alongside Carl, well, not alongside, but one step ahead of Carl Hardy, who also got a naughty boy treatment from the pit lane gods for Safeguard by Result Clothing, finishing 22nd. Just going to check on what happened here with Jay Corley. Ended up having to pit 3 times, that's why he's so far down. In 23rd place, Chris Needham to finish 24th for Air Smart Racing. Alejandro Silva Corrida finished 25th for Lurchis Sim Racing. Russ Cowell finished 26th for Spectre Solo. Andrew Littler finished 27th for Work Gone by Result, and Kylie Haddington finished 28th for Air Smart Racing, still on the lead lap. And the last of the running cars, because after that we did not finish. Jamie Jeffrey, who got chinned off by his own internet, Coupes and Convertibles Racing. Stephen Walker, betrayed by the iRacing gods, finished 30th, many laps down. And Neil Ferrier got ejected early on and ended up 31st for Ignium Motorsport.
Yeah, it's unlucky.
Yeah, very unlucky for him. Right. Whew. Honestly,
Crikey, you've had to, these big grids are making it very hard for you. You have an awful lot of announcing to do.
Yes, but it's all good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, so, no, it's good. You do a great job of it.
We're going to go
you
back.
Keep it going, your pace is good and everything. It's very, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's because you've got such fantastic grid, mate.
I know, yeah. It is a very, very strong grid this season, isn't it? Right, we're going to choose a camera which highlights the most in everybody's racing. And we're going to go and find some people to talk to, Alan.
Oh, this will be interesting.
It really will. So we are going to look at, we've got to speak to both of the Hydro Race Geodesic Racing boys, but the first one of those boys that we're going to speak to is Spencer McCarthy. Good evening.
Good evening. Rush straight in. Great.
Straight in. Yeah, you get an early nap tonight, which is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So race 1, we saw you finish in 6th place.
Yep.
That was a bit of a hard fought scrap in the end. Talk us through that race before we start doing the whole high fives and synthetic champagnes for the second race. Yeah, I know. We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, struggled really. I mean, I've done some practice this week. I can't, I'm not going to say that I'm out of practice or anything this week. I did a few bits, a few days. Probably a bit late on tonight, bit kind of rusty for the evening. But yeah, I don't know. Just I guess all my practice has been in like 18 degrees, so the track being kind of near enough 50 tonight was 40, 42 or something.
42, yeah.
Was not as well, kind of a surprise. I mean, it obviously the car then ends up being really sluggish, and it's very easy to overdrive it, kind of put the foot down too quickly on the exits, and overdrive, hit the brakes too hard. So, yeah, the first race was a little bit of a scrabble for me. I clearly haven't got the pace at the moment for the front guys. So I'm just trying to. I kind of lucked in the first 3 or 4 laps, I think, where there was a few incidents. Found myself in 3rd place. Hoped to kind of stick on the back of David. But yeah, just started dropping back a bit, making silly mistakes, kind of overheating the car.
Yeah.
And then slowly got eaten up by a couple more places. So.
Well, for once, and because it's all about me, I did actually call that. Yeah, I said it looks like you've heated up your stuff and just not got the traction leaving corners. But you say you didn't have the speed for the top guys. He says finishing first in the feature race. So congratulations on your race win.
Yeah, I think,
and contradicting yourself absolutely by your own performance. So well done.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I think it was right place, kind of right time. I sound like Stephen Walker, don't I?
Jesus Christ. Do the whole look. Don't do the lucky thing. It's not washed with him. It's never going to work with you.
Oh dear. Yeah. So. Great race, yeah, it was brilliant. Loved every minute of it, and I've thoroughly deserved the win. But I struggled at the end, to be honest. I kind of had to close the door on Sam on the last little complex. Just you're not going to look up there, Sam. There is not an overtaking place through there.
We were talking about that. We were like, I wonder if there's any team orders. There's never been any before. And then Sam went for one, and we were like, well, there's no way Spencer's letting that go. And then I think he got a slow down.
He did. I mean, so that'd be a lesson to him, really, wouldn't it? Don't be too greedy, I think, is the motto there. How many wins in the first 4 races do you want?
4, obviously.
Well, obviously. So yeah. But it was great fun. I mean, obviously, last to pit. I did a little bit of fuel saving behind Flashy, Mr. Cap, and. Yeah, just got me through that extra lap, and then just tried to. I hoped that Flashy would hold everyone up while I was not pitting, and he kind of did a little bit, I think, which was a little bit of a saving grace there. So I kind of lucked in. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Smart pit stop. It was just textbook, wasn't it? And in and out, fantastic, and the pace when you needed it, Spencer.
Yep.
And I was a bit disappointed that the 1 and 2 was busted there, because that was a very nostalgic seeing you and something.
Yeah, but, that was in Sam's control, wasn't it?
There's something rather nice about Sam doing that wrong. It's very human, isn't it? Nice.
Absolutely. It proves he's human for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a few humans showing themselves tonight. There were quite a few pit lane penalties along the route, of which you managed to not get a penalty, which is brilliant. A few lead lap points in there for you as well. I don't know who got the fastest lap in the end.
Sam.
Was it Sam?
Yeah, he got 2:02.8 in that, I think.
2:02.8, yes. And that is the fastest of everyone, so he's scored an extra point there. But fantastic racing tonight. We saw some bit of door banging further back, and a bit of, I don't know, bad decision making, I think, on some people.
You're very exuberant.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of new faces. A lot of people trying to, as you said, like I think the last broadcast, trying to find the pecking order, trying to work out where they sit in the pack, and that will kind of settle down. I'm sure. That hopefully people won't get too frustrated. That just talk it through. I think, as Sam said at the beginning of this race, just to kind of wait and talk it through afterwards. Don't kind of get on the radio straight away. There's definitely lessons to be learnt across the grid, probably including myself, right? Maybe I was fighting too hard to hang on to some of those places as well, right, in the first race. But, I think it was... The first race is a sprint, so you try and hang on to what you can. I think in the second race, if I was in the same boat, I probably would have let people through a bit easier earlier in the race. But you just take it as it goes, right? You find your pace and...
I think you're absolutely right, Spencer. I think you're absolutely right. We've got a very mature group of drivers here, and things will settle down. People will find their place, and
I mean, I've had to adjust, right? I mean, I'm typically been one of the front guys, for many seasons, and I'm just a bit rusty at the moment and not putting the time and effort into it, and things feel a little bit alien to me. But it doesn't mean to say I'm going to start door banging because I should be at the front. I think you've just got to have a little reset in your brain and just go, right, actually, let me fight from here. And actually, fighting forwards is sometimes a really nice place to be. being at the front and being chased all the time is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know. I hate it.
Yeah, you've had enough of it, Pete. That's why you're always at the back. But yeah.
Well, we've seen you make some remarkable recovery drives in our
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
It's one of my favourite things, actually. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
let's
the only
see.
sad thing about it, you have to get dumped at the back for it to happen. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Let's hopefully move forward in the pace this season, and hopefully by the end of the season I can be on the front, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt it. And Alan's absolutely right. I wheel out my little box of popcorn when you end up starting further down the grid because I'm like, this is going to be mint. But congratulations tonight on your race win. It's probably the first of many this season. Where are we next time? Anybody know? I haven't even looked.
I'll have to look at the schedule.
Where's my cursor? Hang on. I'm going to go and find it now because I'll have to ask some other people.
It would be nice if it was a track. Oh yeah, I don't mind Road America actually.
Yeah.
Let's see how we get on there.
Yeah, that could be
might be one that I'm a bit more. Yeah, Motegi's one of those ones, isn't it? You do every now and then, and it's maybe not my favourite. Nor was Rudd's good, that one. But yeah, I think give me a track that I know that might sell me into it, but more, I guess.
Yeah,
let's see.
Well, certainly a fantastic showing tonight, and we look forward to the next one. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your race win?
Oh dear. I just think you guys really from the promotion, and there's a lot of guys now kind of pushing it. It's nice to see Jay in the league. He's definitely going to broadcast that, and hopefully he's going to find some good battles and air. What a good season, or what a good championship it is, and what a good bunch of guys we are. So hopefully that might even make it grow even more, right? So
yeah,
let's look forward to kind of 63 car grids or whatever you're allowed nowadays. Yeah, bring it on.
Too right. In that case, we're going to look forward to seeing you scything your way through a field next week.
I thought that might be an ask, yeah.
Yeah. Spencer McCarthy, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Good night, Spencer.
Cool stuff, right. Next.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, always a nice guy to have in the interview room.
Look at that.
And also, mid-conversation...
Well, it's very hard to get Sam to say anything. It's very you have to drag the words out of him.
Such a short interview normally, isn't it? So, congratulations on your yet another race win in race 1. Sam Bleed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well done.
Kind of was it a flag to flag? It was, wasn't it?
It was flag to flag after.
Oh, after
the first half a lap.
Yeah.
Me and Mook had a bit of a coming together.
It didn't look like much, to be honest.
It wasn't much. It was cold tyres. We had a look at it between the races. He thinks he drifted out a bit. We did exactly the same thing last night in the official.
Really?
Except slightly further around the corner, and it was more my fault. And he went further off. So I felt really bad, like I'd done it again. But this time it was more him drifting out a little bit, and it was a tiny little contact and a little bit of netcode too. But it just because the cold tyres and the car was really unsettled. Like at the point, it was all the weight of the car and all the steering angle was on his front right, and that's the one that sort of hopped and it just spat him out a little bit.
Right.
So it's really unfortunate because he had probably slightly better pace than me. Certainly, he did last night.
He looked very rapid in qualifying, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was. So we'd had a really good race, I think, but he was just really unlucky with that. And then I know because of where that put him, he got caught up in something else later on. So
not that much later on. It was only about 3 more corners or 4 more corners. But yes, that is what happened.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened to him in the second race, but he got chinned out by iRacing, I think.
Yeah, he had a meatball.
Meatballed?
It's a bug. It happened to us in IVRA. He was driving for us in IVRA as well, and he had a disconnect. And you get a meatball that won't clear because you don't have damage. We've in the past we've even tried crashing into the wall and then pitting to try and get it to repair something, and it just doesn't go away.
That's
the only way.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. The only way we got rid of it in IVRA is getting clear black flags done, but we couldn't get hold of anyone who could do it in the race, so we got DQ'd in the end, which is a shame, but it happens.
I've got no way to see any of those sort of messages. That's a good point, but Okay. We'll try and do something.
We were trying to get Jamie to do it, but he didn't think he could.
Not while he's racing, no.
No. So yeah, it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate, but after the he was already half a lap down after the disconnect, so it wasn't gonna, he'd be able to finish, but that would have been all probably because he was 55, 60 seconds back.
Yeah, and then in the 24-hour clock of race 2, at 1 minute to midnight, you decided to cut the track and get yourself a slowdown.
Yeah, I had in my head double, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to make a move, aren't I? I'm gonna have to have a go. And I had 6 inches of overlap, but it was never on, and it cost me 2 places. So fair enough, it's my own fault.
I mean, you've had such a glorious start to the season, 3 victories and a 4th place. You can't argue too much. I do think that Spencer's probably giggling away, thinking he's romped off with that victory in the second one tonight. But what a fantastic performance! I think you were the very first car to pit tonight. You were the first car not to pit last time. So yeah, it's shows both ends of the spectrum for you, and that you're high performing yet again as our reigning champion. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and start your practicing for Road America?
Oh, Road America. Oh, I don't like Road America. I want to say well done to Tony and Tom Woodcock, 5th and 6th in hand.
Nice,
cracking finishes, and Andrew McKinley 7th, up 14 places.
I know.
That's a great drive as well.
Awesome.
So, some excellent drives tonight. Well done to everyone, and thanks to everyone for coming out. It sounded like it was good fun behind. Might have got a bit spicy in the race 1. I'll have to have a look at that. But I had a good time, and it's great to see another big grid coming out. So thanks everyone for that, and thanks to you for Pete and Alan for obviously giving up your time to put on a show for us, and give us something to watch back tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely our pleasure, and congratulations on your race 1 victory, Sam Blees, everybody.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. You wouldn't believe it, my Discord is working. The batteries
honestly,
all night now.
Yeah, I think it was the Discord server at the start of the broadcast which was screwing us over. Right, so next into the booth, and to celebrate a 2nd place in race 1, and probably we'll try and ignore the fact that there was a race 2 for him. David Johansson.
Yeah, I already forgot about that race.
So, race 1, you looked absolutely on it like a car bonnet, pardon the pun. Super fast, in the tow track, in the race tracks of Sam Blees, right at the end there. What a great performance. You've clearly figured out how to get the pace out of that car. The other good thing is you've got 2 S's in your surname now, which is brilliant step forward.
I have no idea how that happened, really.
No, me neither. I checked everything, and then there was a message came through about something to do with a...
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, we'll skip across that. Never mind. But what great pace. And your teammates have done fantastic tonight.
Yeah, Tom did a great race.
Yeah.
It was great. Sorry, my language. But it was great.
And Kevin, he did all right-ish in the first race. Minus
Tom was
a boot.
11.
Tom in the first race was 11th. Second race was 6th, which is just astonishing, really.
Yeah, outstanding.
And then where's Kevin in the first race? I think he was quite far down. I think he was 25th. But in the second race, up 15 positions. And just absolutely annihilated people. What a great driver.
Yeah.
So,
they did great.
Are we gonna dialogue race 2? Are we gonna talk about the pit stop or what?
You know me, and pit stops.
Yeah.
So
a bit of an Achilles heel.
I did 1 entry in practice. I thought that's enough. I know how it looks like, but I was a bit stressed and frustrated and being stuck behind there. And I was like, I was for the race. Okay, let's do the same thing as Sam. And then I saw him, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go in. And I just cut between second of that chicane in there. So I got a 42-second stop and hold. Without that, I would have been up in P5, 4 something at least.
Without a doubt. I mean, you'd have probably
Remove
got
42 seconds. I would have been 7 behind, and that's P5.
No, I think if you take everything into account, you'd have probably ended up 4th. Because Sam Blees threw away a second position by getting a slowdown in the last corner. So I think you'd have ended up 4th place. But never mind, these things happen. We have Road America is next in the list for this series. Some people love it. Some people who've done lots of endurance races in rear-wheel drive love it. And then other people don't like it. Where does it sit on your radar of tracks?
Well, I kind of like it. I've done really good in the past there. We won a race in the endurance league we were running last year, so...
Oh, this is great. This is fantastic. This is just sent a chill down everybody's spine.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to, David.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's a pleasure to see you back with us, mate.
It is. It's great.
Driving your usual way.
Pleasure to be back. I want to apologize to Owen again. I actually accidentally punted him in race 2, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In race 2, where did Owen finish?
I think he was still okay.
15th, yeah.
I got my penalty. I can say that.
Right, fair enough. In that case, we'll consider that resolved. I think we did see that. Actually, sorry, yes. This was the one where when I viewed it, I thought that Owen had braked early. He
was braking pretty early and very slow on the apex, like he was just parking it there in a lot of places. That's what made me a bit frustrated.
We saw that. We did see that. We did see it.
Only when you described it to me did I remember it. You only just clipped with your right front, you only just clipped his rear left. There wasn't much in it at all, but yes, there was contact, but no, fantastic racing yet again, very entertaining always. If it wasn't for that pesky pit lane entry, which is more challenging than people think it is, you'd have scored way higher. Hopefully that's not done too much damage to the standings.
Looking at it, I'm gonna be like P4, so that's not too bad. If I ended up 4th, 5th, I would have been like P2, I think, behind Sam.
Yes, definitely.
Good.
I think the
it's
championship...
a drop round.
It could be,
Race, probably.
I think the championship is still very much alive for you. And Sim Racing Grid must be doing brilliantly because you scored so heavily tonight.
Yeah, I think we will be pretty good up here. I think we were P3 after last week, so we will still be up there, I guess.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic racing, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, well, my teammates, of course.
Cool.
Doing a great job.
They certainly are. In that case, we will look forward to seeing you on track with your teammates at Road America next time out. David Johansson.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night, David.
Good night.
Right then, and it looks like... Oops, that's the wrong guy. It looks like finally into the booth. And, I was hoping I could stay out long enough before the flashing started. Is Captain Mandarin, Matt Flashy Elmore. Good evening.
You love the flashy.
Let me find you on track so that everybody knows the flashy idiot that we're talking to.
Spencer are side by side.
Yes.
I'm flashing my lights.
I know. I said he wants to stop flashing his lights and focus on steering the car. But in race 1, where were you? 13th.
Spinning around.
Spinning around, yes. We saw a bit of that. You ended up in a sandwich there with JB just behind you over the line and Pete Van Gool, who had a really good night actually, ahead of you. But yeah, you could have finished a lot higher than that, couldn't you? Because your pace tonight was unbelievable, to be honest. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. What the hell?
Yeah, I had my spinach. Now, race 1, I had damage. Myself and Jamie Jeffries, we came into, I don't know what town it is, the right-hander, and I was on the curb. He came across, knocked me, and then coming out of the corner, I came across a little bit too much and went across the front of him, and it spun me round. So
Right.
And then I had damage on, according to the damage model, I had damage on the rear, the near side rear, and steering damage.
How do you see that? Is that a Race Labs thing?
No, it's in the game. There's an option.
Is there?
You bind a key to it, and it tells you what damage you got. Yeah.
No way! I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yours will just say park it up in the pits, Pete.
Yeah. You're done, mate. You're done. And that's before the race has started. You know.
Yeah.
Right. So that's race 1. And then you need to tell me what the hell you've been eating for race 2, because I need some of it. So you started in 2nd, I think? Third, was it? Sorry, 3rd, yes. Right behind Wook. Wook decided to find the internet gods and insult them, so they ejected him from the world and gave him a permanent meatball by the sound of what Spencer was saying, I think it was.
Wook was behind us.
Yeah.
It was Jamie, JB, me, and then Wook with his go gadget button that got him off the line at a rate of knots.
Yeah. Unbelievable, actually, the speed at which he went. But he disappeared just as fast. And then you led, what was that, half the race? More?
Yeah.
Consistent, fantastic laps.
Yeah, I needed to get the gap, but the problem is, and I was just saying to Sam and Spencer, that I know they're faster than me in 99.9% of the races. But I tend to race in my mirrors, so if I know they're catching me, I don't so much make stupid mistakes, but I know they're coming, so I don't go to my full potential. And then when they catch me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to ruin their race, but I don't want them to overtake me, and then they overtake me anyway.
But not the case though, is it, Mr. Humility, Mr. Lucky Stolen Wookiee's Lucky Underpants? Because you had Miguel behind you for how long? And he had a couple of little forays at showing himself in your mirrors, but he didn't get you before the line.
I thought he was going to get me.
Well, I did too.
He's a very, very quick driver.
I had 50 quid on him, but I lost my 50 quid. I think you've got quite a lot of pace in that Elantra, particularly around Motegi. Your car looked controlled. It was nailed down. I wondered for a while who was driving it, but apparently it was you.
It was a fantastic performance, Matt. Your pace was consistent and fast, and you ran that position all the way through that 40-minute race, and it was all down to your skill and your ability that saw you in that position. You didn't have any luck. There wasn't any lucky wookie in that at all, and it was a fine performance. Probably the best race I've ever seen you try, to be honest. It was fantastic the way you were survived in that cauldron out there.
You're gonna make him cry in a minute.
Mate. I'm not gonna be able to get this big head through the door in a minute.
It was already a fantastic drive.
It was already massive.
Consistent as possible, because it's very easy to make a mistake, and I've said it the last 2 races, and I'll probably say it the whole season. The grid is so close now, and you got I call it your top 5 runners, maybe your top 6 runners, which you got your and I hate to, I'm not going to say the wobbly word.
No, don't.
You got Stam, you got Spencer, you got Wook, and there's a couple of others. They're in their little class, and then the next class back, which I class myself in, you got the likes of, half the grid.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? It's that bunch has changed, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
There's a lot more people come in and joined it, haven't they, from the bottom up?
Exactly, and I think, look at JB, for instance. His pace is phenomenal.
What the hell?
And Tony.
Apart from me knocking him off the track on
you did, yeah.
Which I apologise to him for straight away. That was totally my bad. But in my opinion, if you can finish in the top 15, I think you've had a good result. And that's how close the field is, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's good that JB finished in 16th then, isn't it? But anyway.
Yeah, well, that's my fault.
But yeah, brilliant pace, great control, very competitive, and stole yourself a 2nd place. It would have been a 3rd anyway, but you stole it because Sam Blease decided to get himself a slowdown. Did you?
Sam gifted it to him. It was nice of him.
It was, yeah.
I said they were going to either take each other out, or one of them was getting a slowdown, and I'm nicking a position here.
Awesome. But yeah, what that was just a brilliant pair of races, and you featured heavily in both of them. Unfortunately, yes, you were flashing your lights for some of it, but we'll overlook that just this once. Road America next time, a bit of an endurance track for most people. Is that one on your favourites list, or on one you're bored of it list?
Enough. I was looking through your stats on the website the other day. I think Russ pointed out, it might have been yesterday actually, and we was like, that's not right because I've got no wins on there.
That's because you haven't won anything.
I think you'll find I've won a race at Road America.
Oh, right. I'll go and have another look at that. Oh, hang on. Was that when GT4s were in it?
Possibly.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a glitch going on at the minute because it doesn't recognise the TCR winner. But we are working on it. You'll get that eventually. So yes,
it would be that one that I've won, wouldn't it?
It would.
Your one race.
I did it on. Clearly, I did it on purpose. Yeah, just to pick on you.
Got one and you take it away.
Awesome.
No, I like Road America. To answer your question, I do like it.
Yeah.
I'm not the fastest, but I feel like if I'm quite consistent, again, if I finish in the top 10, I'm happy. And I think that'd be a very, very good result for anyone.
Yeah, in this field, definitely.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I think you're actually right. 15. I think you're right, Matt. 15 is sounding like almost like a top 10 now, with so many great drivers coming through.
Yeah,
I'm happy with a top 15 finish. I'm smitten with a top 10 finish, in my opinion. Tonight, over the moon. Race 2. I'll take that any day of the week, obviously. And myself and like I say, my teammate T, great drive, and considering what decided not to race and turn his computer off and raging because we're in front of him, we'll get the team points for us,
Yeah, and you have done really well on the team front, you and Tony. What, 5th place? I mean, good God.
Yeah,
what a great result for Tony Walker.
That's fantastic, honestly. Can't say enough, can you, about that?
It's a race win. It's a race win, that.
Yeah, the improvement with T is night and day, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah.
The hours that he's putting in, and it's showing.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Yes.
So
there's nothing better than somebody who's put the effort and the time and the dedication in and reaping a reward. And there's no finer sight, in my opinion. I just love to see that.
The only person that's not made improvements this season has just gone totally and utterly backwards.
yeah.
Because he's eaten too many pies. That's Carl.
Yeah, I mean,
he
got stung by the pit lane gods, didn't he? In that second race,
he did his usual, didn't he?
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah,
he was probably having a pie and not taking any notice, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's it. He spotted the pie shop.
Yeah, distracted at that vital moment, and that was it.
He dropped the wrapper down by his pedals and then missed the pit entrance.
So, anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and start your practice for Road America?
Yeah, now shout out to you guys for doing the league. Shout out to my teammates, and that is Russ included, because he's coming back from a lengthy gap and making progress in his racing and getting back up to where he should be. And shout out to everyone else, and apologies to JB and apologies to Jamie Jeffries for coming across, because in my opinion I made 2 little mistakes which might have cost people. I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well, it's good that you're honest enough and open enough to voice it on a broadcast. I'm sure you'll discuss it over the next few days and put it to bed. But great racing. It's always our pleasure to run these leagues, because what else would we do, Alan? I don't know.
It's a delight to see
sat in an empty room
back on that car and see Matt back on the track with us. It's lovely.
I've got to put fresh LED bulbs in my car.
Yeah, because you worn the bloody things out. That's why. Anyway,
you call it, but on a couple of the overtakes, we're side by side with Spencer or Sam, and I'm flashing my lights trying not to crash. I'm like, I've got a flash just in case it's on the screen.
Sadly, it was. But we will not look forward to you flashing. We're going to disconnect that button by the time we get to the next one. Flashy, Matt Elmore, everybody.
Cheers, lads. Appreciate it.
Good night.
See you later.
Oh dear, hilarious.
You can't disconnect his button.
So we've got some decisions to make here. It's been
ridiculous.
This one's quite hard because the people
you need to top out and you can put 20 names in it.
I know. If you take the people that did well in the first race, they're not the same people that did well in the second race.
This makes it even harder.
Yeah. What the hell? I think I've got a couple of people though. So the ones that stand out for me tonight, and maybe you can select from the smorgasbord of fantastic drivers. See, I would have obviously voted for Flashy Elmore, but he took people out and didn't do so well in the first race. Even though he got a second in the feature race, Miguel had a very, very stable, successful evening. A fourth in the first race and a third in the second race. That's pretty consistent. I like that. Tony Walker did really well. An eighth in the first race. Yeah, outstanding. And a fifth in the second race. Who else? Andrew McKinley featured well in the second race. Didn't do so well in the first one. But he was up how many places? 14 in the second race. Kevin Daniels did the same, but they both had poor race ones. It's an interesting mix of cars. I mean, Carl Hardy did really well in race 1. P nowhere in race 2 after getting stung by the pit lane guard.
Yes, but he performed very well until he got stung by the pit lane guards.
Yeah, absolutely. That's can't argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's very tough. There's a lot of people made a lot of laps, and there's been a lot of very good driving tonight. There's been a bit of dubious driving, but we're going to see that settle down. I'm looking forward to when it does, because this is the potential here with this group of drivers. It's fantastic.
It is, yeah. And David Corpus finished 10th.
You mentioned Pete as well.
Pete Van Gool,
David, they all absolutely pulled stops out tonight. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Have you got a place where you're planting your flag?
Yeah, I've got a place where I'm planting my flag.
Let me go and find the website before you say it. So give me a sec. So website, go to the controls around the back of the website. League drivers. Pick this league. There we go, 15. Right. So where are you going?
Well, to me, it's a straightforward one, and you actually raised one of the issues. I'm picking young Andrew.
Okay, cool.
He did a fantastic drive in the second race. But the thing is, in the first race, he had a big off. It put him right out of position, but he came back, he showed his maturity, came back, finished the race, wasn't upset by it, wasn't disturbed, and came out and drove the wheels off the car in the second race like a champ.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really pleased for the young lad, because this is the deep end. This is the deep end for any driver, and for a young driver coming into it and performing as well as he's done, with his maturity and his common sense, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, he was around the league a few years ago, and you're right, he's a young lad. I don't remember him racing with us, but my God, he's fast, isn't he?
Well, he's a big friend of Scotty.
Yeah.
And he introduced him to Resort, and we got to know him a couple of years ago, I suppose. Now time flies, but and he's just improving all the time, and I think it's a massive step up to come into a league like this and do as well as he's doing. And I'm so pleased the way he drove that second race. That was superb.
It really was. It was immaculate, really. Right, my vote is going to go to someone who I've already mentioned, and I think it's pretty well deserved. Tony Walker for me.
Absolutely.
Top AM driver. He's ended up being 5th in the feature race, right in the middle of all the superfast. Yes, Tom Woodcock has been chomping at his heels pretty much the entire race. But it was Tony that came out on top. His improvement is fundamental in our leagues. And tonight was testament to that. He was right at the front with Flashy for quite a long time in that second race, and I think that needs to be called out. And well done to Tony for tonight's performance, and long may that continue, because that's stunning.
We can't say enough about what Tony's done, because he's been I think he's really been the outstanding improvement from last season. He started this huge march forward, didn't he, up the grid, and he's continued it. And tonight's drive was all about his consistent pace, and he didn't let it flag. He didn't make any errors. He just kept it tight and kept it going. and he had Tom there all the time, you know, and we can look forward to. They seem to run at a very similar pace for top hams. We can maybe look forward to some severe battles in the future and a lot of fun to be had.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to carry on at Road America in between Christmas and New Year. So the next race is 1 week from today, which will be the 27th. Is that right? Have I counted right? What day is today?
It's the whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
20th?
20th. Yeah, we'll go 27th and see if I'm right. We will be at Road America, as we've already said. V8s, we're not sure when that's going to restart yet. Are we going to wait for Gen 3, or are we going to launch it anyway and change in the middle? We don't know yet. But look out for any potential dates on the website. Always stay posted to that website. There's all sorts of things that can happen. Keep your eye on the standings for this league, because it's starting to get pretty tasty. Different people starting to win in terms of Spencer, and different championships starting to get very, very tasty and competitive in terms of the AM class that we've got going on. What a fantastic night's racing. Thanks to all the racers that turned up tonight. 31 of them, yeah. Some internet connections, some internet woes, and we were suffering. Alan couldn't even get on Discord at one point. So I think the internet.
Yeah, I've never had that before, where it just wouldn't have it.
Yeah,
very
strange, very strange.
And it's you know, even while we've been talking, now it's dropped out a couple of times by itself. Just dropped out. It's just unfortunately I've had it on YouTube on the other screen. So when it drops out, it goes to the YouTube.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. All good then, yeah. Yeah, it's been a successful night for our Geo cars. Getting a race victory each for Spencer and for Sam. Thanks to everybody that contributed on the chat. It's always great having the comments as part of our night. I mean, you got Tony on there, you got Pete Van Gogh, you got DD, whoever that is.
It is the thing, isn't it, Pete? You know, this is our community, and we socialise as well as race.
Absolutely, yeah. And thanks to you, Alan, as always, for your learned wisdom on the
pleasure,
broadcast.
matey.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you next time out. I shall wrap this broadcast up now by saying thanks to everyone, really. And I'll hand you over to Alan for his thanks. Good night, everybody, and stay safe. Enjoy your Christmas, by the way, and a Merry Christmas it should be from BSTV.
Yeah, well, I won't burst into I'm dreaming of a white. Oh, I will burst into it. Yeah, good night, folks. It's been an amazing evening. This league is shaping up to be something really special, and yeah, see you in the new year, my dears. Oh no, I'll see you in the build up to the new year. Crikey, it's going to be more exciting. Can we stand it? I doubt it. Night, night.